as she flutters by. In takes on the wind, she takes to the sky. No jaw to contain her, no net to make her alive. She lays on my shoulder, if only for a tease. Then off to the wind, floating on the breeze. For then in that moment she'll be mine, butterfly. But I guess there's some things just not meant to hold. I guess if I love you, let it go. I guess if I love you, let it go. Make sense of this, there ain't no making sense of that. And hoping is just hoping when we don't know where we're at. Want you to run so far, yeah, and fly so free. I've never felt so stuck in between. At the end of the day, just won't you say it's your mistake? I guess there's some things just not meant to hold.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Live on Patrol. And it's been a busy week out there. You probably read some of it in the newspaper in terms of the carjackings that have been going on, sort of escalating this past week. We're gonna Pat and I have a full report on what's happened in that area over the last week. So I saw in the paper there was 14 actual carjackings with force or gun, dozens of other auto thefts and some robberies, but thankfully we were able to arrest 5 juveniles here in the last couple days as well, so hopefully that'll curtail some of it. Special shout out thanks to Shane Brown, was that his name? The Argus Dispatch guy, Pat, that wrote that. I think he was referring to you as who are those characters in Alice in Wonderland? You're the rabbit, I think. And you say I'm late. I'm late. Well, that's probably me, right? Usually it's me that's late.
Yeah, that was in the Quad City Times.
The Quad City Times. Thank you, Shane Brown, for a little story about what we're trying to accomplish. We appreciate the fact that you actually understand why we're out here and what our goals are. And one thing, though, one correction. We demand a correction because, just for the record, it's not a corn dog. It's a cheese dog.
Let's get that straight, Shane.
It's a cheese dog. We love corn dogs too, by the way. The corn dogs are good, especially at the Minnesota State Fair.
I bet they are.
For holiday gas stations, we're talking strictly cheese dogs. So,
but that was my predominant thought when I read that was, wow, this guy gets it. He understands why we do what we do.
Yeah. And and said it in a humorous way. When you sent me the link, at first I thought, oh my goodness, this is a negative story because of the connotation.
You kind of wonder when it says down the rabbit hole.
Down the rabbit hole, yeah. But No, it was clever. Clever use of the word. And we like the word Minnesota Magic, too, because we're proud of our state up here in Minnesota. And so, thanks for calling out Minnesota, because we do have a wonderful state, a lot of great people.
And this is a great city.
So we are southbound on Arcade. And, by the way, I love history.
No way.
Yeah. And so I've been reading up on St. Paul history. I picked bits and pieces here and there. And one of the things I'm always curious about is how do streets get their names?
Right.
So, like Front Street. How do you get a street front? Well, it used to be called First Street, and it was sort of the outward perimeter. I'll go into more detail another time, but it's interesting. There was an argument over what to call it. The people had a big meeting, whether it's front or first, but some wanted to call it Larpenteur.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wanted to be Larpenteur. Of course, Larpenteur is, a mile and a half north, or a mile and a quarter north of there. And, but it's interesting how a town evolves. And Como was one of the first streets ever. Actually, it was built by a private owner out there that was trying to bring people out to his area for visiting and shopping.
Really?
He privately built the road. And there's one block area of the original 1872 Como that still exists. It's an alley behind the 800 block of Como.
Okay.
So, but, for those of you that live in St. Paul, we'll eventually get to discussing history of everybody's town.
Their dog is locked in the vehicle. It's been in it for about 10 minutes. Concerned due to the weather. Great Jeep, Wisconsin plate.
So anyhow, Pat and I worked a number of days where we were not live on patrol, and we were involved in a few pursuits. We were also present at the apprehension of 4 of the carjackers. You want to kind of give a little summary, Pat, or of where we're at, or?
Well, that day started off with one of the main players actually getting arrested in Minneapolis.
Yeah, we won't mention any names.
No, we won't mention any names.
Because they're all juveniles, by the way. That's one of the issues we have, is that most of these kids that are involved in these carjackings are juveniles. And if you saw that National Public Radio story I posted of the trends around the country, that's enlightening, don't you think?
Absolutely. But this one kid in Minneapolis was wanted on violating his juvenile probation and had a warrant for it.
Tango. PD.
But he was taken into custody, and
13 years old.
13 years old.
1824.
And folks, this is a good-looking kid. He's a cute kid, and he's probably looks 10 or 11.
And
it's depressing.
And we've had dealings with him before, and he's got some positive traits and personality.
Yes, he does.
So then there was a lengthy chase with the Audi. We were looking for that Audi. Those of you we were looking for that stolen Audi.
That black Audi Q5. I'm sure many will remember it. It had originally been taken in a carjacking in West St. Paul, and involved in that carjacking was a gold Volkswagen Tiguan that had been taken in a bump and run at Arcade and Geranium. I think the day before.
Yeah, I don't know what day, but yeah, we had actually a video of that where they bumped into the rear end of the woman. And you'll see in that, we did a press release to say, you see in that the bump and rob, some people call it bump and run. I'm calling them bump and rob now, because
that's what it is.
If you get out of your car and you walk back to talk to the driver, the passenger sneaks around the car and jumps in your car. But if you don't get out, the passenger comes over to your car with a gun, says, now get out.
Right.
So, yeah, that was how the Tiguan was taken. The Tiguan was in several pursuits, and as Pat said, involved in the robbery, the carjacking of the Audi, and also involved in attempted carjacking down on St. Paul Avenue in Highland Park.
Right.
Yeah. They terrified the two women that were getting into their cars.
Right, and quite possibly involved in just a few minutes later, the same type of tactic on a Jeep that was taken in a carjacking.
Yeah.
So now we get to Wednesday night.
Is our video going okay there, Pat? Does it seem like we're streaming okay?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, go. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay. So we get to Wednesday night, and there was a series of carjackings and street robberies. There was an attempted one on. There was a successful one on the 1000 block of University, where they took a
Equinox.
Chevy Equinox that we are still looking for, by the way. It's a silver 2013 Equinox, license number 980NUD. 980 Nancy Union David. We're still looking for that. So they took that in a carjacking. They moved on to, I believe it was the 1600 block of Taylor, and approached two guys getting into a car with guns, and took their wallets and cell phones and asked them, can your car be tracked? Is it trackable? They told them no, so they left them with the car and went over onto Aldine Street a few blocks away and carjacked a 2016 Chevy Impala. And they asked that driver, after taking his wallet and cell phone, if the car was trackable. He said no, so they took that car.
Yeah, and we've been suspicious the last couple days before this week, because some of the cars that were trackable were dumped very quickly, and we were suspicious that they might be monitoring on the scanner the officers communicating about their location. And so when their friends called them, or they knew we were onto them, they dumped the car very quickly. So the cars that have been tracked have been either dumped quickly or located quickly, and so we think that they now are being more specific.
And in relation to that, I know a lot of the administrators and people who follow the scanner pages and who make posts on the calls going on. I'd like to really request that if you hear on one of these calls that if a car or a phone is being tracked, don't put that detail in the call, please. Let's let that be a surprise for the carjacker, that they're being tracked. So,
1829.
after taking that Impala, what was the next one?
Well, the next day we ended up on Como Park. That was the same day. We ended up chasing that.
932.
That was actually the next day.
You're still working on the GOCF.
They stole the Mazda out on Goodrich, and they used the. Well, I don't know if you were working.
No, I wasn't working for that one. We're not even done with that night yet.
No, I know.
We're not even done with Wednesday night yet. So after they took the Impala, they
Oh, there was a chase with the Audi later.
right. They went over to the east side and did a straight street robbery at 7th and Cypress at the Wild Fish and Chicken Shop. And Eastern District squads ended up spotting the car and got into a pursuit with it,
656.
where
Squads are code for.
very conveniently two canine cars were number 1 and 2 in line in the pursuit. And the pursuit went out 94 westbound to 35E north, and there's kind of a little bottleneck there, and the car rear-ended in a line of ambulance.
Actually, it was right here.
Yeah. We're coming up right now on...
We're going going to kind of show you where it ended. You know, if you're coming 94 west into the cities, and then you'll see the 35 northbound and the 12th Street ramp. You know, and you try to go get in the far right lane, you'll end up in this ramp here that goes northbound on 35E. And
I want to say right away, no one was injured in this crash.
Yeah, and we're not going to drive down on the freeway, but I'll just show you. This is right down where this entrance is. There's also where the ramp is down on the freeway. And so coming up that ramp onto 35E from 94, you see those cars, they're coming off of 94. The suspect vehicle, as Pat said, crashed into the rear of an ambulance. Just a little narrowing there, they couldn't get around them. And both suspects bailed over this hill off the freeway right to where we're going, and into this area. And the St. Paul officers did an awesome job of setting a perimeter. The sheriff's deputies were there as well. State Patrol participated. One of the St. Paul cars actually, I think, blew an engine in the course of that. But you see this embankment here on our left is where the freeway was. They bailed over. Pat and I don't always think we're fleet enough of foot to get out on foot. So we did not get out on foot. But one of the suspects, we were here when the suspect was found. Canine found the suspect right in this little quadrant. And here's the irony of this, that building straight ahead there is the St. Paul Police Department and the St. Paul Communication Center.
That was very considerate of themselves to get caught 2 blocks away from where they were going to be taken.
They ran right to the jail. So
one was arrested under one of these trucks right here.
Right here
is where he got found. He was actually the second one caught.
Right.
The first one caught was at, I want to say, Pine.
Just a half a block over.
Yeah, half a block over.
You'll see Regents Hospital over there on the other side of the freeway. And so, thankfully, finally, that Audi was stopped from a series of all sorts of criminal activity. That one car was probably involved with more other carjackings and robberies than anything we've seen.
Absolutely.
In a long time.
So
2730 mini, haha. Near the McDonald's for a DK driver.
That ended up, that kind of wrapped up Wednesday night. Now, last night, Thursday night, I wasn't out. I just picked up bits and pieces of it, so you're probably more familiar with that one. Oh, first off, earlier in the day, on Wednesday night, I missed one of the carjackings. On Wednesday night, on McCarran's Boulevard in Roseville, a white Dodge Challenger with black stripes on it and a Darth Vader decal on the driver's door was carjacked. Roseville investigators yesterday were following up on it and were in St. Paul. Well, first the St. Paul car spotted it without any plates on it, but they had left the Darth Vader decal on the door
earlier. But I think
so
those Roseville, I want to give a shout out to the Roseville officers out there, because, you know, a lot of these departments don't have enough personnel really to dedicate a proactive wing, you know.
Right.
And they have a proactive group now called their CAT team that is out there searching for, following up on criminals, even if they're run into St. Paul. So they did locate the vehicle, and shout out to Roseville for some great work. Of course, a multi-agency chase ensued, you know.
Yep.
And I don't know what you want to say about that, but eventually the is it overheating or are we good?
No, we're good. My feet aren't good.
Oh, your feet are cold?
Already.
Let me see if this is a very complicated system. See this little picture?
Yep.
And that person sitting there?
That's me.
Yeah. A little picture sitting there. That arrow, I suppose that means where the heat goes, right? So anyhow, that one ended up
600 block of Hoyt.
Yeah, they ditched it over there off a Parkway in Hoyt, and we have a problem property over there near Nebraska and Edgerton that a lot of these kids have run to in the past, and they were able to identify one party in there that they believe was in that car, and so suspect we won't mention, another juvenile that has a well-conceived history. So,
and that was, I think you were out in the street, and I was in the office, and I would imagine we both simultaneously said in our heads
go to
that address where they ended up getting them.
Yeah. So that was good. And then a deputy, Mike Servatka, spotted that car after they had seen it. There was a lot of times pursuits are terminated and then re-engaged.
And that happened a couple times during that one.
Days, but there's so many officers out in that area. And then last night, St. Paul has put a number of additional officers out on the street. You probably heard that. There was carjacking.
Goodrich, right?
Goodrich, 1555 Goodrich. You told me you've been going to be busy doing some things last night. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Getting ready for some other things.
Yes.
So that's why I didn't pick you up. My apologies.
That's okay.
Actually,
I made time.
Truth is, when I was that car, a Mazda was stolen down on Goodrich and Snelling. To be honest with you, I was at the Ford Bridge just waiting for something to happen down there. And then, of course, they didn't.
Oh, we had the Mercedes earlier in the day.
The Mercedes up Blair or Edmond or somewhere in the Frogtown. Yes. And the Mercedes was involved in the stealing of the Mazda.
Right. The Mercedes was just taken off. It was left running by the owner.
Yeah.
And it was stolen off the street.
But then it was used in an armed carjacking down on Snelling and Goodrich.
Right.
So I was thinking, okay, Snelling and Goodrich are going to go across that Ford Bridge. Well, as it turns out, the people they robbed down there, they took their cell phone with them too, and the officers were able to track it.
Right.
And of course, I'm waiting. Is it coming to the Ford Bridge? No, it was going a different way.
We've got an LTAC issue in Minneapolis I'm going to turn on. See if they come our way.
Requesting a welfare check in a dark colored sedan with their flashers on westbound 96. Unknown is occupied at 1837. Call.
Well, while we're waiting, so anyways, they do the Goodrich with the
tracked it, and multiple pursuits into the suburbs, out into Roseville, Little Canada, and eventually it came back into the city. Car came to rest at Snelling and Como. 2 suspects fled. One of them had the phone in his pocket. And so we were able to locate and arrest that one. The second suspect got away. I think the second suspect probably said, "Hey, here, buddy, you carry the phone." So, but while I was searching, I just want you to know, it was over there on Breda, the Mung Academy, on the backside of there, Winnie Breda, between Hamlin and Snelling. They ran toward the east there from Snelling and Como. There was a state helicopter up for those of you who live in that neighborhood. And,
Take a passenger out.
So they must have
Minneapolis caught there, guys.
Well, while I was
Got one rear passenger left.
searching the apartments on the back side there, I saw a lady out smoking, and I pulled up and I said, "Hey, have you seen anybody run through here?" You know what she said?
Huh.
She said, "Hi, Bob, where's Pat?"
You know, a woman, I can't remember her name right now, she
Pat?
put a message on one of the scanner pages saying, "Hey, I talked to Bob last night and said to say hi to Pat."
That was probably her.
That's funny.
Hi, Bob, where's Pat? So that was good. Hopefully the rest of those 5 will curtail some of this. And for those of you that are new viewers, if any of Shane Brown's readers happen to join us, thank you for joining us. And my name is Bob Fletcher. I have the pleasure of serving as the sheriff here in Ramsey County. Ramsey County is the county of the capital city, St. Paul. We have several suburbs as well. The city of St. Paul is about half of the county. I worked for the St. Paul Police Department for 20 years before getting elected as sheriff, and it's just an honor to be on the streets. And with me is a gentleman that started about the same time I did, Pat Scott. Worked at St. Paul for 30 plus years and retired, and I coaxed him to coming back as an analyst, and probably going to reactivate his license at some point in the future. Patrick?
Yes, indeed. In fact, I have all my application fees in and just have to do a little more studying, I discovered. And I'll be taking the test to get my peace officer license reinstated. And then I'll be Deputy Scott.
Deputy Scott. 51613. I like it. I like it. It's got a good sound to it. So we are westbound on University Avenue, one of the main streets in St. Paul. Runs from downtown St. Paul all the way to downtown Minneapolis, parallel to Interstate 94, just north of it. Runs through the University of Minnesota and then back into downtown Minneapolis. It doesn't actually run right into downtown. It runs just on the northeast side of the Mississippi River over there by Dinkytown.
Right.
So welcome. We're monitoring 6 different frequencies. The city of St. Paul has 3 frequencies for the 3 main precincts. You're going to hear a lot of radio traffic in the background as the night goes on, and we'll do our best to monitor everything. We certainly can't monitor it all. Then there's 3 frequencies for the northern suburbs. The sheriff's office is generally on the central precinct, central frequency. Maplewood, White Bear, North St. Paul in the suburban east, and then Roseville, New Brighton, Mountains View, St. Anthony on suburban west. So we'll try to keep posted, and then if there's a multi-jurisdictional chase coming in from outside our county, it'll be on LTAC 1. So we're trying to monitor that as a 7th frequency as well. So we have a couple other county cars working tonight as an expansion of the carjacking detail. We have a couple pit train cars. If any of you carjackers are listening, we do have pursuit intervention trained people. We're not going to allow you to steal cars with guns, to rob people on the street. We are going to pursue and bring you to justice. So, Pat?
I'm going to throw out the our text number. Now, I got to tell you, I've got to apologize to a lot of people. I haven't been able to keep up much the last week and a half or so because I've been very busy, both in the office and out with Bob on patrol. But I will be getting to these as I can. The number is 651-775-8928. 651-775-8928. We do not answer the phone. That is only for texts, please.
Has it been dispatched? And is it considered a stolen now or what? Okay. Rolls was on the way. Is it a Roseville call or Maplewood? Okay. Thank you for that good info. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye. Let me see.
5185 Tango.
Let's see which one's which here, Pat. Can never keep it straight.
85 Tango.
This is 5181 in checking the area, 2700 Oxford on a 911 hang up within 60 meters. Phone's not accepting calls at this time.
Airport, we'll take a PCN. You can use a PD.
364 is in the area.
Copy.
Copy, Victor 45.
45, nice. 44 minutes.
Well, I don't know if that's going to work.
45, 6, cancel 78. Take care of it by phone. I'm gonna head over to 9-3's location. Copy 70, clear.
I know where it is.
4-4, sorry, copy.
The suspect with weapon is going to be inside of the bar, unknown where the other party is. Plate that was given is going to be Foxtrot Juliet, Yankee 147. There's a squatted back and a box to copy.
270.
I'd have to operate without those.
600, I'll back.
Keep it in there just in case. Whatever, yeah, just.
178 copy of the target, B235.
Well, the cat is clearly out of the bag, so without further ado, Bob, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for remembering.
I'm checking the area.
I don't celebrate birthdays anymore since I turned 50. I'm always 51.
We're wearing a black coat, black jeans, and black
I
shoes.
still celebrate my birthdays, and I still enjoy them.
Well, that's good of you. That's good of you. That's why you're much older and wiser than me. Did I mention the older
Negative, I
part?
can verify the TC.
Well, actually, we've got, let's see, today's the
Now we're the same age?
12th. We're going to be the same age for 2 months and a day.
Listed in the comments has an extensive weapons.
All right, let's head to that address. I don't know if it's dispatched yet, but
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's...
268 copy. The RO of the vehicle given has an extensive weapons history at 1846.
270 if our ticket push out a photo.
Checking channel.
39, send me that call.
69 copy. Checking channel 2 for Arctic.
well,
Arctic on 2.
in a little bit. Oh, is that a 10-2?
So it's on looking for a photo of a RO of a vehicle. The 285 Jefferson Avenue.
And Sam, are you talking about the RO or whoever the car was sold to?
178 versus code 4.
I'm going to put this on, the main one on 2, to listen to that.
Aguilar has an extensive weapons history. I believe he is on probation out of the DOC for a weapons offense.
Arctic copy. I'll get a photo out. Copy. And it does look like the vehicle is flagged sold to a Samuel Peterson Chadwick.
268
coordinate, post back to
as
4,
well has a history with the SPPD.
4.
Copy. Chadwick also has a history.
287 in the area.
287 in the area. 1848.
280.
280.
We're going to be waiting here at Jefferson and Victoria for some more squads and then make our approach together.
Copy.
$91.73. 267 United, Wisconsin, 423 Lima X-ray Lima. Male and a female in the back.
Copy.
5048. $91.71.
So this is what we're looking for. Huh?
Someone.
I don't know if you got, if you're...
And it's quite a back, 1599 9th Street, for what looks like a residential alarm. That 206.
206.
Birthday on that Chadwick, E20, 1987. Got several outstanding warrants, including Bird 1. If Arctic also pushes out a picture of that individual, 2 squads as well.
206. I copied that birthday of 08/20, 1997, and looking for a picture of that party as well.
Can you use that other thread?
Perfect,
Can you use the other thread that it...
1850.
Four 493 Tango.
Can I look at that?
Yeah.
449 Tango.
It's on yours too, but
You can clear
it's not
9-6.
on
This
this
is
one.
GOA.
So I'm not. It's not on there, but it's on.
267.
But
267.
yeah, well, you're welcome to look at it, of course.
Nobody was smoking, just doing some other things.
All right, we're headed to a call.
The path.
Argument. One guy has a gun.
Copy.
Officers are making sure they have the right safety
Area
protocols.
3467 Ray Street at Gas Plus.
And
Car's
plus,
going to be waiting in a Honda CRV gray in color.
2364 Tango copy.
1851.
things are obviously starting to pick up again. As soon as the sun falls, people like the cover of darkness in all their activity.
288. I'm sorry, go again.
Should have it all.
Yep.
Jefferson, Victoria, please.
Copy. Any spots that are going to be en route to the same contact, you can be at Jefferson to Victoria.
Oh, it's at the place. I missed that.
At the bar, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Should have. I used to go there. I should have made that connection.
Well, who knows where that car will be by the time we get there. So
Right.
we will be on the lookout. By the way, here in Bolo,
280.
if you ever hear Bolo on the Bolo board in cop shows, it's be on lookout.
They never went back inside the bar. No more.
Be on
Party is
lookout.
located inside.
That term has survived forever.
Mm-hmm.
288 copy.
Well, they're coming in from Victoria, maybe Lexington.
Yeah.
That's pretty much his only two choices if he's going to come north.
364. You check CAD for Freedom Hall Southwest 7.
So in a couple of minutes, we're going to go to this call. We're going to see if there's any suspects leaving or fleeing that can be looked for that threaten each other with a gun. And we have a license plate here that we're not dispatching at this point. But in a couple of minutes, we're going to have a discussion about how to get these young kids to stop robbing people with their guns, because ultimately that's the long-term solution. You know, it's very difficult to catch people before they get themselves entrenched in the justice system too deeply. Which for a GMC, right?
Yep. Yeah, it seems like once you've gotten in there, it's a long haul out far too often.
And you know, the discussion I want to have tonight, and I have a special phone call guest that we're going to have here in a minute, is
12376.
I believe, and I'm just going to tell you, my own son, you know that I had a son that passed away on his 26th birthday. But like any other teenager at 15, 16, you know, he did his share of experimentation. And not all of it was lawful.
Per the TC, the compilation exhibition went back into the bar and now states the male party is sitting in the front area right when you walk in with a younger Hispanic male with long hair and a taller white male.
So, as much as you love them, sometimes you just, they can't, you know, the human brain doesn't really develop till 25 to 30. And so, some of these young kids, they're just not able to break from either their addiction or their mental health issues, depression, etc. And my son actually, I had arrested twice when he was 16 years old. And
Affirmative. Area check at 1825 Suburban Avenue.
it saved him. He spent 6 months in the Dakota County Juvenile Detention Center for possession of drugs which he was using. It got him cleaned up. And he also did something stupid and stole something as well. But in order to get, while he was in detention, he got treatment, he got his GED, he got on Suboxone, off drugs, and he got on Suboxone for his heroin addiction. And just a variety of things. He met some great people. Probation officer named John Ramsey from Dakota County that helped save his life and became his friend. And I just want you to know that for parents that don't want to have the justice system involved, it's the best chance you have of correcting your son is to use the juvenile justice system in Ramsey County.
Absolutely.
It does work. It can work. I'm not necessarily advocating for the same level, the adult level, but when they're young enough, you need to help them change course when they're young enough. And by the time they become adults, you lose control of your options as a parent. So I'm a big advocate of using the tools that the justice system has. And you can build relationships with your kids while you're there.
I think we're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, we might have to.
Grammy, M4.
I think it's because we're down
Yeah,
here.
I'm guessing it is, but I don't know the solution. I'll drive by once, see if we get better. What are they doing?
Looks like they haven't gone up to the bar yet.
Yeah, looks like not. I think it's this bar, or are they going to that one? So we're just going to hang in this area in case they need our help. They probably don't. So we're going to find a...
We are back up.
Let's get away from the bluff a little bit. But back on the justice system, if we're going to help these kids change course, we're going to have to use more resources than parents have available to them. And we owe it to the kids, we owe it to the parent to be there for them as a justice system. And this concept that every child can self-correct without help is just simply not true.
No. It is a falsehood.
So we are on Jefferson Avenue headed toward West 7th Street. Not too far from Mancini's
Ah, yes.
Char House. Great steak, great baked potato.
3100 Ariel Street, apartment 318, resident saying the caller is white with credit last approximately 4 hours or so. Next to the comes that she was
Are we back?
We are back.
They have no record of it being there. Caller believes she's
We were, for a couple minutes there, we were in a dead spot for cell coverage. That's why you lost us.
So hey, before we get into this next conversation, I just we posted the whole concept of Live on Patrol. Please, can you be respectful of others? The name calling is completely unnecessary. And there are differences of opinions. We can have healthy conversation and debate without being derogatory toward others, but let's just avoid the name calling. And I've been at this a long time. I managed the St. Paul Police Juvenile Unit for 4 years, and we arrested 4,000 kids each year. You cannot blame the parents.
I got eyes on, unmarked.
How's our
Copy
connection?
for disorderly mail.
It is
Get ready to loading up into the vehicle listed. Eyes on the vehicle.
they're
Yeah,
getting in the car.
at 1900.
We're gonna sit right up here for a minute.
I can't confirm that it's the target, but they're piling into that envoy.
So one of the county cars has spotted the car that's believed to have the guy with the gun. So we're gonna just see how this plays out while we're sitting up here before we go too much further.
288, copy.
Copy, you said they were piling into the envoy.
Affirmative.
Copy, we're pulling them now. Hold here.
Copy.
Hey guys, as you approach, you'll see a red pickup with its lights on. The car is directly behind that red pickup. You're coming right onto them there, K9.
Negative at this time. Apparently the gentleman refused.
Good work by Inspector Whistler there.
Yes, indeed.
Spotting the car before it leaves. Let's see if we can get these charged up. I don't know if they'll even work there, Pat. We have two sets of headphones that sometimes they're charged, sometimes they're not. So, in a minute here, as our guest tonight, you know, Pat and I know a fair number of people on the street from our 40 years here, so we're going to talk to one of the mothers of one of the 5 kids that was arrested. And she's going to share with us her views on the love of her child and how she's tried so many times. Her son is cut off 2, we're obviously not going to reveal who it is, but he's cut off 2 wristbands for home confinement. And she's begged the justice system to help her with her son. She loves him to death, and but he's only 13 years old, and he's fallen in with some bad kids. And Pat and I are going to try to help her, you know, through in the future here.
Absolutely.
But we're going to wait until that squad is code 4. In the parking lot of the bar down there in Victoria and Jefferson. So there's 4 cars there, and should be fine here in a minute. A lot of people carrying guns nowadays. Obviously, the permits to carry have escalated. A lot of people have some level of fear that's caused them to carry guns. Some illegal, some legally. And of course, you can't be drinking in a bar when you're carrying a gun. That's clearly a violation of the law. To be intoxicated or under the influence. Is your radio down?
Yes.
288, be advised. We are doing a felony stop.
Okay, they're doing a felony stop.
288, I copy. Doing a felony stop. Calling a 10-2 at 1904.
All right, well, we're going to run back there then, just because obviously they're not 100% code 4. We'll be back here in a minute.
Hopefully we won't lose the signal. If we do, just be patient, please.
Good.
Might need a couple more. Maybe about 3 more still in the car. To our radio.
Copy.
So you ready to ask for a couple more cars? Must be a large group that They're pulling out of the car.
Five three four. Slot 534.
534.
If we lose you, we'll get you back.
Received.
This is the Central District technically, but it's right on the border of the Western District. Where we think coming from which way are we?
I'm not sure.
We don't like to come in on the front side of a felony car stop just because that can lead to crossfire. But just because there's headlights coming at us, it won't go in that way. This is a St. Paul tap. Again, just a report of a man with a gun that might have been threatening some people. So, there's a number of squads there already, wouldn't you say, Patrick?
I would say so. They've got it well covered.
I would think they got enough to handle that, but it is not code 4 because they're pulling them out of the car. Let's get a sneak peek at what's happening here. So they're doing a felony car stop. Basically, they're just on the possibility that the suspect is not going to cooperate. Actually, you see right here, the car in front of us is a sheriff car. We have a sheriff car, part of our carjacking detail. The other 3 cars are St. Paul police cars. And then we have Inspector Whistler. They're actually ordering them out of the car. Are we still transmitting okay, or are we locking up?
We are good.
And they're taking them out of the car one at a time. That car traffic that you see up in the top there, that's a 35 E Freeway Bypass that goes from West 7th Street up through St. Paul. There comes the party back to a squad.
So the initial call here was for a couple men who'd gotten out of this vehicle arguing, and one had pulled a pistol out during the argument.
This used to be where we used to play, in the old days, Pat and I used to play volleyball down here, right?
Sure did.
What was it called back then?
Was it Spanky's?
No, Spanky's on the east side. We should,
280, checking spot
we used to have Tuesday morning.
So 6 or 6 won't keep off.
Copy.
Was it? Well, it's changed names a couple times. Was it Josie's or? We'll watch the comments there, because the West 7th Street people would know.
Right.
They definitely would know, the old West 7th Streeters.
Yep. We're in and out.
St. Paul tap.
We know we're breaking up intermittently. There's nothing we can do about it due to the location we're in.
We're going to go ahead and leave any out. They got it under control here. They're pulling everybody out of the car one by one at a one. They're going to find the guy that has the gun. They see if he's got a permit to carry it. And we'll find out if there's any victims. You know, a lot of times the victims don't stick around. Got any victims there that...
70.4, cancel 10-2.
270, copy. Scott, will be code 4, canceling the 10-2.
And let us know.
3-8, go ahead.
We're call 4.
You know, I just gotta tell you, see that hockey rink there with the lights on?
Yeah.
It just brings a smile to my face when I'm down here.
Copy, canceling the 10-2 at 1810.
And I see a hockey rink lit up.
Oh, yeah.
And I just know it's so great, such a outdoor activity that kids can do during COVID. And granted, it's freezing cold. It's minus 10 degrees. By the way, we're in Minnesota. It's minus 10 degrees. That's not wind chill. That's the real temperature. That's the real temperature down here.
Can I get you to divert and start towards the Freedom House, 296
I caught a little...
Street? The female party that is refusing to leave has been violent and aggressive in the
What were you
past.
going to say?
Does have mental health issues.
I caught a little bit of a text from someone who's saying they were down in Texas and they are frozen solid at 20 degrees. Well, we're 30 degrees less than you.
Yeah, think about that.
But that is different for Texas, and it's one of the biggest cold snaps in 20 years, I understand, down there.
Yeah, and you know, when it gets to, over 10 below here, the carbon monoxide coming out of your exhaust actually stays on the ground, doesn't evaporate, and causes what's called black ice. It's,
Yeah, and the car is clear. You can cancel 10-2 if you haven't already.
They're canceling the 10.
69, copy, vehicle's clear, and 1911.
It's actually, I think, 17 below. I think it doesn't. And so you can't tell that it's ice because it's frozen. It's not frozen water, which turns a little whitish. It's frozen carbon monoxide.
And information.
Okay, I'm being told.
Possible fresh and stolen from 1223 Maywood Street. Caller advised they witnessed two parties break into a vehicle, and the vehicle left northbound on Maywood. Accident is going to be a truck with a topper and lights on top of the vehicle. You have no suspect description. Information only at 1912.
Oh,
And that's right where one of our carjacked vehicles was dumped.
you are correct.
So, I'm told it was at one time Jose's,
94.
at one time in the Frontier,
Frontier, yeah.
and that it actually was
Just think of a second.
one of the
Just real quick,
Spankies at one
just
time.
occurred at the Freedom
I
House,
was
and
thinking
that's
the main
related to your
Spankies I
car.
remember was at East 7th Street.
And it was prior to it being this, it was Tav on the Ave.
Copy. And 1912.
Was that before it moved, or no? Okay,
Oh, yeah, not Grand Tavern, but
okay.
yep.
All right, we're gonna call, make a phone call here, and have a great conversation, and we're gonna try to make sure that we don't. This is a mom that is interested in getting her message out, and we're gonna do everything we can to make sure she doesn't mention her son's name by accident. But she wants some help, and she wants the justice system to change. Seem like we're streaming okay?
There's one that's able to start towards a robbery. 55 East 5th Street, Desert Alliance Bank. Caller advising that they were robbed by the Hoonan Gardens on the Skyway. Gun was implied, but none was seen. Suspects left on foot on Wabasha towards Walgreens.
Hang on one second. We're going to try to get you connected here and make sure we can hear you. Because I don't know. I want to make sure we get you on the... There's a lot of electronics going on there nowadays. All right. So... All right, can you hear me now?
Copy. Just let them know. The only description we have is
I'm sorry. How about now, ma'am?
Wearing dark clothing, one with a white backpack. I'll be waiting in front of the building.
Are you there, Miss T?
At the front entrance.
Yes, I'm here.
We're gonna call you Mrs. T today for for the purpose of this conversation. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for being interested in talking about your son's dilemma. I've told the viewers, I don't know if you've listened, that your son was one of the 5 that we were able to arrest in the last couple days, and about your passion to help your son, and how much you love him, but you know that he needs some more help. So I'm gonna let you just tell the story and tell what you think needs to happen. And the microphone is yours. I'd love you to use it, because hopefully there's some elected officials and policymakers that will benefit from hearing your story.
Thank you. I would like to say I am so blessed and honored that because of you, Bob, you're saving my son's life. Let me put that out there. My son has been committing crimes for some time, and I've been asking for help, and the kind of help that I've been asking for, they don't have, because I think it's a mental health issue. My son was bullied when he was younger. He plays Grand Theft Auto, and a lot of that comes from my son committing crimes and other kids in the community. And what I think needs to be done is that when these kids get locked up, they cannot absolutely get released back to the household, because they're having a thrill right now with carjacking, and they're getting away with it, and it's putting me in danger, and it's putting the community in danger. And if we don't come up with some type of policy and program immediately, we're going to be losing our kids left and right. And the community it's tragic.
Well, I know that when he was arrested last summer, after that chase that kind of led to your neighborhood, and I was there at your house that time, that you were begging the justice system to help you out, and I think he's had a couple ankle monitors that he's cut off, right? And by the way, to our viewers, if you haven't shared this yet, this would be a great time to share this with your other friends, because this message is very powerful. But just take us back to last year and your attempts to get some help.
Last year, he did the same thing. He took the police on a high-speed chase, and I'm at work. I had to hurry up and rush to get here. And three of his kids and him came running to my house with a gun, and it was a whole bunch of police, and it was really scary, and the news was outside, and it was really scary. Yeah. It was really scary.
So, what would you like the system to do? What are the things? I mean, he's only 13 years old. He doesn't turn 14 for yet, and he's already been. What type of mental health services? Or, I mean, I mentioned my kid needed 6 months away from everything in order to get the proper help that he needed. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen a week or two or a month.
I think what is needed, like I'm gonna use my son for an example. When he was released to me, with the crime that he did, it should have been the organization at my door, or because we're in COVID, someone should have been calling me immediately, trying to get into my son's head, or just to help. Someone should have been helping me at my door. The organizations that are supposed to be helping the youth.
Yeah. And there've been cut back so much and it's, yeah, no, that I know your son, and I find that he's got a nice personality when he's not committing crime. I like the kid's personality. He's probably one of the more likable kids on the street. And I know that he can be saved if we get him the right services here in the next couple years. But excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but with service, I was getting to what needs is, he needs to be locked down for at least 90 days. If the 90 days you don't have good behavior, you still do not get let out in the community. And like a boot camp, military, healing, meditation, these kids need to be rewired, because if my son's been playing Grand Theft Auto, that's what is embedded in his head. And to be honest, he's an honest child. So I did try and get my son therapy. And when he talks to the therapist, he told the therapist that Grand Theft Auto taught him how to go out there and jack cars. And when we asked him why he did it, he said because it was a thrill. Yeah. And then he said he's not scared to die. And he's 13, and he's been doing it since he's been 12. Yeah. But there's things, but this thing is deeper than that, because it's things that led up to that. And that's the part where me, as being a mother, and other mothers, if you're in a group, if anyone's listening, we have to be accountable for what our children are doing.
And that's what led up for me calling the police, connecting with you to get my son some help.
I think it's time for us to start a mother's group that you lead, that we can have frank conversations about how we help our kids. You mentioned that, I know we talked earlier before about the bullying that went on when he was 10 years old and how he felt in order to get along, he needed to adapt his own style. You want to talk any more about that?
Yes, I can touch on that. When I moved from a rural community and I moved back into the inner city, it was like a different kind of behavior. So my son didn't know how to fit in because they used to throw rocks and they was breaking windows, just doing little stuff that my son wasn't used to doing. So they would, call him a punk, pull his hair, take a cigarette, burn his skin, just little stuff like that. And that plays the part in him trying to, act like he's tough now, Yeah. And the leaders at recreation centers, when they see this kind of behavior going on, if they're not strong enough to be at that recreation center, they should not be in that community.
Yeah. What advice do you have for other moms? There's a lot of them suffering with this same issue.
I say if you're in a situation like me where you don't have family, you have to go to the cops. We have to learn how to trust the police. Police are not going nowhere. They're in our community. Not all cops are bad. They're no different than teachers, And that's where I'm at with that. I really, because I'm at that point where I couldn't get no more help. I called child protection on myself to get help because it was just that bad, because he was putting myself in jeopardy and I had to quit jobs. So I didn't know what else to do. So child protection didn't work. My last resort was to call the police to get help for my son.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of ways that a child can harm themselves, and guns you can harm yourself a variety of ways, shooting someone else or getting shot yourself. But I personally have seen your son drive in a fashion that I can't. It's so dangerous that I worry about his life from the way he was driving too. So, collectively, you and I and the probation, etc., need to find a plan for him to get back, because he is savable. You know that, right? I know you know that.
Yes. My son is savable, and we are going to save him. And I mean, it gets deep because when these kids are not only carjacking, they start backdooring each other, and then when they know where your son lives, they come shoot your house up. Yeah. So this stuff is getting serious to where, once again, mothers, we probably do have to have a group. We are going to have a group called Mothers at the Table. And we need to start figuring out and coming together, creating a policy. I was doing some research. It's called the National Juvenile Defense. There's a pot of money to where we should tap into that to get what we need.
All right. Well, I'm very, very proud of you. I know Pat is as well. I'm going to have him comment in a minute here, but we're very, very proud of you for speaking out and for what you're doing. I know personally you're doing everything to save your son and, of course, your other children as well from that life. And thank you for being an awesome mom, and doing the right thing and not being afraid to work with us to, for everybody's benefit. Patrick?
If I got to be that bridge, Pat and Bob, let me be that bridge, y'all. We have to trust police. We have to. Who's going to save us when we get into trouble?
It's Ms. T, it's not the community, it's not moms, it's not the police, it's not just one or the other. It is all of us being together. And when I saw your level of concern the other day at your house, I'm impressed beyond words with you. You're
scary, man. It's scary.
It's
and
terrifying.
He's only 13.
Yep.
It was like 50-50 y'all up in here. Ramsey County and Hennepin County. One little 13-year-old, he's not even 5'1".
Well, we got to make him our collective project for all of us. And
I'm thankful you saved. You saved them, man.
You have our commitment that we're going to do everything we can. And this is a good test for our community. If we can save this 13-year-old from this life, maybe we got a chance. But let's we know the recipe of a child needs some good mentoring, you got great parenting, but he needs activities and other things to do, and relationships. And we know the recipe. We just need to make sure we have enough ingredients, and we're going to mobilize an entire community and system to help your son. So keep us posted.
It's going to take the village. We need the village.
He goes back to court next week, and then we'll figure out what the long-term plan is, correct?
Absolutely.
So backseaters, we're going to ask you to help with this endeavor. We can always use volunteers that want to help with some of these kids. And that's my goal, is to mobilize some of our viewers and backseaters to help with these children. Just give us an hour a week, hour and a half a week of your time to help connect with kids in a variety of different ways. And we can all.
Can I say something?
Sure, of course.
I think we could start with get a list. If we're able to get a list at the JDC, and these kids that keep having the same reoccurring crime, that we could start there, because it's the same kids doing the same crime.
Right.
Absolutely.
Literally.
You're right. Well, unfortunately there are some politicians and officials that don't believe that kids benefit from being detained. And this is one of the problems, is that, as you mentioned, accountability is important. You can't rehab until you have some level of consequence and accountability. And so, this is a nationwide problem, and the nation's going to have to figure out that, these kids aren't going to suddenly change on their own. They do need some help from the rest of society.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, well, thank you for what you're doing. We'll continue to be in touch. Thanks for sharing your story. And we'll keep our viewers posted as we go every week on how it's coming, and we'll be there for you. So let me know what happens after this week's court appearance, and we'll get involved in his future too.
Thank you so much, Bob. Pat, y'all be smooth, be safe. I love you.
We love you too, and you know what? We love your son. We really do. And
I appreciate you.
We see the positive. Pat and I have learned over the years that most of the people that we arrest, 95% of the time, they're enjoyable to be around. Actually, they have personalities that we can enjoy, but 5% of the time they can't control themselves. We just need to figure out how to help them manage that 5% of the time. And with kids, the number gets a little bigger than 5%. But even for adults, it's a fraction of their personality. We're all a collection of good and bad. Our job is need to help them control the bad.
let's switch those percentages around.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
God bless. Thanks a lot, Miss T. Bye. She's my hero.
Absolutely.
She's my hero. Totally my hero. And thank you for sharing your story. And I hope the rest of you understand how difficult it can be in raising kids in today's environment when there's other kids trying to pull them down. So it's
young man has faced a lot of challenges in a very short life.
I just think if it was my child, I would just be so frustrated with the inability of the justice system to say, hey, we are actually going to hold him until he figures it out, you know?
I don't understand the concept of there being a serious offense and just turning around and sending that child back into the same environment.
No, it just doesn't make sense. We have a youth outreach program at the sheriff's office that helps kids that are in the at-risk communities. Now, we've cut back a little bit during COVID, but as I mentioned, we'll be gearing up again this spring. And we'd love to have your participation. At some point, we'll be opening up to volunteers that want to come in once the weather breaks here and COVID is on the back foot. But this child here is a classic example of a challenge for all of us in society. If we can't help a 13-year-old steer the right course, I mean, and frankly, it's good for all of us to get him off the road.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's not that he's not a skilled driver, he's just a dangerous driver.
Yes.
You know, and sadly, I mean, I've talked to him on a number of times where, well, not just him, these other kids, where they take pride in eluding the police, which of course is consistent with what the game Grand Theft Auto teaches kids.
You know, and there have been a lot of comments on there. I've been catching bits and pieces of you know, you can't blame the game. You can't. I played the game for years, and I'm just fine. Not everybody is wired the same way.
Yeah, we're not blaming the game. It's one factor. My son, I have a 15-year-old who plays the game, and not only does he play the game, he's really good at the game. He's got every possible car upgrade there is. I don't know how it works, but I know you get to, you know. I've told him you can't play the game if you shoot the officers. You know, there's got certain rules on
Thank you.
games there. And my son is a very positive, has a positive image of law enforcement, but he enjoys playing the game as well. Although I will say lately he's started playing Call of Duty instead, which appears to be. But my son has played the game, and I don't worry about him running from the police. I'm just saying that it's one factor. Everybody's wired differently, like Pat says.
Exactly. Some people it is a huge influence on.
Well, it's certainly not steering them in the right way. That's the problem. So, thank you for everybody that's made some supportive comments for Mrs. T. We really think that her message is one that can help us. We're on West 7th Street down by Chestnut there, just past Tom Reed's on the right, Casetta's on the left, McGovern's on the left, the truck park on the right, and we're coming up on the XL Energy Center, which is the home of the Minnesota Wild. That's the home of the Minnesota Wild. So remember, kindness is important to Pat. It's not just something that we just say on the. So if you can't be kind on these comments,
don't comment.
Don't comment. And if you
simple,
go to a different page, and if you're unkind repeatedly, we're just going to block you. So there's ways to be constructive and kind on an issue without being disrespectful. So.
Someone made the comment, what good is it going to do for him to sit in jail? It's not a matter of sitting in jail. It's a matter of being in a controlled environment with access to help, with access to therapy.
Well, number one, these kids will stop using marijuana or whatever the drug might be.
Right. A
lot of them will get some treatment for whatever chemical they're putting into their system, and almost all of them are putting something in there. It might even be alcohol. Number two, they're going to get some therapy, some mental health. Some of them suffer from issues of depression, and they might get the right particular medication to help deal with their anxiety. I know my son had an anxiety issue that, there's different medications can help with there. They're going to get some education, structure.
287.
Get up and
287.
Go to class. Possibly go to get some work, learn some work skills. So,
Copy 1934.
It isn't jail. Juvenile detention is not anything close to jail. It's
not
even close. It's a reset. Sometimes kids just need a reset to get back on a positive track. That's what it's for. So, and it's my feeling we've gotten rid of so many of the programs here in the last, I don't know, since I've been gone. The last 10 years, so many programs have disappeared that there aren't as many options for parents to use.
There used to be a lot more available.
We're in downtown St. Paul now. For those of you that are from other towns. Normally we start at 9/11, so I'm assuming there's some people that aren't with us. They'll be joining us later here at 9, but we had some conflicts early in the morning tomorrow. Not that we're opposed to going without any sleep, because we do that
Quite often.
maybe a little way too often.
You may notice we just passed a couple St. Paul cars there. They are out taking a report on a street robbery that occurred outside the building, and the man went inside to escape and call the police.
288. I'm going to be in Untitled Chapter. Copy of 1936.
Probably the car from Jefferson. Yes. Securian right there, one of our top premier organizations or businesses.
Hello, Bob Fox.
I got to tell you that actually the arrest of those 5 in the last 2 days has dramatically calmed our carjacking. It's a matter when you take 5 suspects that you know are doing it on a daily basis,
It has an impact.
it really made a difference. So it will have some impact there. And State Patrol helicopter, thank you for your help.
(161) copy your code for Hampton and Bradford at 1937.
Well, the other night when we were out and there was that series of carjackings prior to the chase,
Yeah.
I started out with such a nice, neat board here.
Yep.
And by the end of the night, it was practically unintelligible from writing down license plates and descriptions.
Yeah, we had a good meeting this last week. We had a 4-hour meeting with all of our analysts together, charting out exactly which crimes are linked to which. It's really helpful. It's really helpful to understand the relationships of the carjacked cars to the auto theft cars to the robberies that are committed on the street.
0 squad to back 264 for a DOC at Union Gospel. Reference a refusal to leave on a Michael Harvey, black male, 1216 to 74, yellow jacket, khaki pants.
And virtually all interconnected.
Yeah. Yeah, we went back and just drew a link analysis chart of all the ones that happened since the beginning of the year. And it's been a slow escalation from last summer. I mean, he's been popping up.
I'm clear from this.
The last month, though,
I'll handle it
it's been out of control. And that's why it's been time to... And, you know, I have to tell you, let's compliment St. Paul. There's been...
22 case number is 030.
a history of not chasing many of these cars, but St. Paul has now decided that they're gonna raise the bar, or lower the bar, if you will, in terms of the officer's authority to pursue. And if the car has been involved in a gun pointing of any type, either when it was taken or with other robberies, they're allowing their officers to pursue. And that made a huge,
Can you
huge
call
difference.
Console 27 when you're
Absolutely.
able? Again, Console 27.
So, and we are ready and willing to help them
Thank you, 940.
when they find one of those vehicles.
Beam Avenue, Birchwood Plaza. For DKP, there's a female stumbling around the parking lot, going back and forth from her vehicle and into the laundromat.
So let it be known, pressing down on a gas pedal is not going to make you avoid facing consequences for your actions if you choose to use a gun.
4493 Tango, copy.
We are eastbound on 7th Street out of downtown St. Paul. We're going to head up East 7th. We're going to roll
2364
Pat's window down here in a 6 blocks and see if we can get a shout out.
How did you read my mind?
Can you add the suspect plate, Adam, David Adam, 285 to my call?
Receive, thank you, 41.
We are monitoring all 6 frequencies. It might not hear us react to everything. We'll take a quick trip here through the Holiday gas station here. Like
180.
Part of it's visibility, you know, just
We'll be out at the original call.
You know, this is
address now.
going to be a good opportunity because I think there is a...
you need to
Yeah.
stop and get a cheese dog.
Nope,
Copy,
but I will.
41.
There is a Chevy Equinox over here.
How's it going? What's happening? Anything?
525 case number
Going down?
03007.
Drive over from Wisconsin?
03007.
Come from Wisconsin? Well, are you a Packer fan? Oh my goodness. Well, there's a lot of people here. They don't. Everywhere we go, people say F12. They don't like Aaron Rodgers. They don't like Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, well, that's good. He's a good quarterback. That'd have been funny if him and Mahomes were playing in the Super Bowl with that commercial, Allstate. You know, because ended up Brady was playing against Mahomes, but it'd been funny if Rodgers was playing against him. You don't like Brady? A little what? Wine baby. Well, I'm not going to quote you on that, but all right. Have a good night. Thank you. We try to engage people in conversation any chance we can. That guy had a Wisconsin plate on there, so we just.
So that white vehicle right there
Yep.
is an Equinox, so we're looking for that body shape and those kind of taillights on it.
Is it sort of blue?
It is gray.
Gray. Okay. Looking for a gray Equinox, just like that car there. What's the plate again?
980 NUD, N-U-D.
None. Backseaters, if you're out there and you see one, let
For
us
Freedom
know.
House.
Yes, sir.
Copy, 1940.
See, yeah, my sister-in-law brought over a birthday present for me today.
Yeah.
I'm not going to reveal it tonight, but in a future night, you and I are I'm gonna share it with you, my birthday present. But
I'm on pins and needles.
5182, 5185 Tango.
Debbie Ryder, my sister-in-law, and she also
5182.
Part of the birthday present was $20 dedicated for our cheese dogs
85 Tango.
and Mountain Dew.
Nice.
Number at 506 Velocity Hills Drive West. Caller just returned home and believes someone is upstairs. Here's movements.
See, I don't know if you read the press release, but whenever I see women on her phone while they're getting gas, what do you think now?
You're not very
You're worried about
aware
the-
of your
I
surroundings.
know we've had a series of carjackings / auto thefts right in gas stations where they see a woman out of the car getting gas. They're preying on people that are less likely to resist.
Right.
Usually women.
Average build, wearing a black
And
coat.
they
black
know you got a phone. It's not much trouble to push you out of the way, take the phone, and so if you take I don't know if the story is posted. Pat, maybe you can see if Mara posted a story on the Pioneer Press because she was updating it.
Oh, she was updating the original one?
Yeah, she called back and wanted some more information. And I just think it's an important message. I really want people to actually read it in terms of the MO of these guys. Because yes, we've arrested 5, but there's another 10 to 15 that are still out there in our city.
174, that is check on traffic. 185, stand by.
And
Copy code 4, 185, go ahead.
Clear advise Northwest. Send us that call on Selby, please.
You know, I'm going to do this from my phone because if I log in, you're gonna lose your.
Okay. Thank you, please.
so we're eastbound on 7th Street. Cheshire Cat, right? That's from Alice in Wonderland, right?
Yes.
Cheshire Cat.
365 and 364.
Cheshire Cat.
365. Squad 364.
Not on their Facebook page.
114 Maryland Avenue on a domestic. Male roommate trying to get physical with other people in the house. It's going to be a Wade, 45-year-old white male wearing no shirt and blue pants. Is known to have a knife, but nothing seen today.
364 on the way.
I wonder how long it'll be till we can go to a restaurant or bar beyond 10 o'clock. The COVID numbers have been dropping pretty dramatically.
Yeah, they have.
Which is a good thing.
They are. I'm not sure if it's tonight or next week. Bars can now be open until 11 instead of 10.
Oh, it is? Okay,
Yep.
well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that.
I'm going to hold off looking this up for just a second here.
2325 Nokomis Avenue on an
Out here
animal
for our
complaint.
shout out.
Comes with attacked by 2 dogs that live at the address. He'll be waiting in a black Honda Civic at Geranium in Nokomis.
What's up for the Aaron Rodgers fans? It might be too early, Pat.
It might be.
It might be way too early. There we go.
Thank you for watching Live on Patrol.
What'd you say this time? F-U?
Yes.
Well, she didn't use the 12.
No.
That's what's great about life. Everybody's got a
looking for a tow sheet.
got a difference of opinions.
No, I just sent it.
We welcome them all.
That case.
That's great about America. Oops.
2364 Tango.
Can you send me a PCN at 3585 Owasso Street, apartment 213?
Yep.
Is this yours?
Yes. I've been looking for that. Thank you.
What is that thing?
It's a little pocket-sized pepper spray.
Pat always leaves something in the car for me at the end of every shift to discover. It's like a test. That's a pepper spray?
Yep.
I had no idea. You know, it's a good thing you told me that. I was going to test out that button. Oh, somebody else is yelling at us too. Hey, I did actually pull out my big black can of mace yesterday. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, did you?
There was a huge fight down at Bourne's.
Oh, I heard that. I heard that come out.
And so I ran in on that. I had popped the cap yet before, but there's a lot of people outside. Only one guy got arrested, but
I will be bringing Michael.
so anyhow, first of all, regarding these carjackings, do your best. It's primarily going to happen when you're going to and from your car, or when your guard is down, when you're in a gas station. If someone rear ends you, be a little bit suspicious of stopping and pulling over. I'm not saying you're supposed to pull over. I got to tell you though,
180 case number
that
is
tactic,
030.
not to add more fear to the mix, but that tactic was used by Joseph Turry when he kidnapped women and sexually assaulted them. And he's the one, of course, that killed Helen Edwards, who was the clerk at the Perkins down in West St. Paul. He used to live up in the area Pat and I patrolled, and I arrested him a couple times. And but Joseph Turry would use that way to meet women. He would bump them and then exchange names, because the law requires you to exchange information. And then he would use that to recontact the woman. In one case, though, he tried just to convince the woman to come with him. So, but he would hang outside, he would hang at Perkins restaurants and try to hit on waitresses, and that's what he did in the Helen Edwards one. But a woman had seen him. He had bumped into a car, a woman's on Robert Street, and that's how they helped identify who he was. But my old partner Mike Beeson and I had arrested him for a similar sexual assault. But I guess the point of that is, it is dangerous for a woman to get out of their car at nighttime when they're bumped carefully at the end. And I would not, if it's my wife, I would say just drive to a local police station very slowly and lawfully.
Right.
And
get on the phone.
Get on the phone and get out 911 and just tell them you don't trust the person that ran into you.
If you feel any discomfort at all, do not hesitate to just slowly drive away towards a police station, call 911, and stay on the line until there's a police officer with you.
So that's number one. But if you're already out of your car, just don't resist. Best thing you can do to help us, of course, is to call. On the other hand, really the best thing is if you know how to track your own phone and it's laying underneath the seat. No, not too many people have that situation, but we have had guys that throw the phone out of the car. But sooner you can get us the information on. And here's the other thing I'd say: memorize your license plate. I would say majority of people do not know their own license plate.
Oh,
which is crazy.
It is.
Majority of people.
Copy 6th and Cedar, 1952.
Oh, so the call down at the St. Paul Tap, of the man with the gun, they did find the gun on the suspect still when they took him out of the vehicle. And from some of the details we were getting prior to the call, he may have been ineligible to carry a firearm at all, ineligible to get a permit. Larry in Mankato, tomorrow is your 80th birthday. Thank you for being with us and riding with us, being a backseater. We appreciate you, and congratulations.
The only thing, you're born a day too late, Larry. You should have been born on February 12th. February 12th. That's only a 1 day better.
For a possible SIP call, 1535 St. Albans Street North. Caller, please. His friend is going to kill himself via
Thank you for watching, Larry.
Threatened to put himself in the tub and put a blow dryer in it.
We're eastbound on Maryland Avenue at Johnson Parkway.
Zebra Sam 802 at 1954. Did you copy? Yep, I copy.
Yeah, and it looks like that article Mara Gottfried wrote in the Pioneer Press has been updated at 6 o'clock.
Copy of 181.
Yeah,
Would you like to
I haven't read the update, obviously, but I know she was going to update it.
We can do that.
So, urge you to go read that article.
Yeah, because the different tactics that they use, gas stations, one of the reasons we did that press release today is this week we had a carjacking in Little Canada where 4 suspects in a stolen SUV pulled right in front of a car at an intersection. And refresh my recollection, was that a Range Rover?
Range Rover.
Range
yep.
Rover. They have certain cars that they like. Certain cars that they like, and fast cars, fast SUVs, but not huge ones, not Denali's or Expedition or Explorers. And so they pulled right in front of him up on County Road B2 and Arcade, and just jumped out of their car and pulled guns and carjacked his money and his phone and took his car and drove away with the other car too.
Yep.
And then, of course, the bump and rob that we talked about, the distractions and the gas.
173 Western at the Hanson Pub for a homeless woman in the
The gas stations have always been a problem, but
22 copy.
so just the tactics are clearly escalating, and the frequency of guns being involved. I mean, used to be in the past that they wouldn't necessarily use a gun. And of course, that one down on St. Paul Avenue, 1022 St. Paul Avenue. You know, I'll tell you what, we have audio of that incident from a Ring doorbell. It's terrifying of what happened to the people that were. That's just, the whole audio is just disturbing to me. So that's trouble. The other thing we didn't mention, since our last live, Pat and I were out here 3 different nights, and we did end up in a chase ourselves. And I'm just going to repeat. We didn't know there was a car here. It was a MDX, right? Acura.
Yep. Acura
By the
MDX.
way, Pat's a big fan of an Acura MDX. He wants to buy one himself.
We'll be checking the house.
There was. I'm not going to give you the exact address,
dear.
but there was a car here near Flandreau and Rose without plates.
Copy squad checking the house at 1957.
So we sat down the street waiting for it to leave just to see if it was stolen. We didn't know if it was stolen, and we didn't know who was driving it.
364.
So
FedEx routine for a mail.
we called for a couple other cars to help back us up, one to sit north, one to sit west.
Code for passenger break.
And they did that.
Copy 39 at 1957.
Suspect came out of a house, jumped in it, and as soon as he came out and jumped in it, he immediately just blew the stop sign at Maryland and put the gas down and kept going.
And this was with him having no idea there were any police officers in the area. What we surmise is that if they've been sitting for any period of time,
Bravo 462.
they assume that the police may have spotted the car.
Yeah.
So they get in and immediately take off driving insanely just in case the police were out there.
Yeah, so
Copy code 4 for medics.
so we are watching this car go north
Starting medics at 1958.
from here, and one of our deputies is stationed north, and he ends up pulling behind the car.
4478.
Having said that, it's next to impossible. Is there a way that I can post that picture right here midstream or not? Do you know how to post pictures or not?
I think if you can get me to the pictures, I think I might be able to do it. I think I can.
Where would they be? Not there.
Let's go to your photos.
4498 Tango, clear park.
I'm gonna share this photo. I don't know how to get
And
it.
then
Oh.
hit that arrow on the bottom left.
Yeah.
Hit copy photo, not save photo. Hit copy photo.
Okay.
Now go back to the remarks
Yep.
and try and paste.
264.
I think that'll work.
Nope, it didn't.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it will. Maybe it did. We don't know. All right. So I don't know if. Here's what I can do. I want to show you this because this is how dangerous some of these things can be. We
On the 10-1, squad 506, Owasso at 2000.
That's for searching a house.
yeah. So this is where the mentality of some of these people comes into play and why they need to be taken off the street. So the car, the stolen Acura MDX, which we didn't know was stolen, we didn't know it was driving, had no plates. It goes north here on Flander past Hawthorne, and Deputy Mark Suki, one of our best pit cars, is right here, jumps in behind it, turns the lights on, and the car blows this stop sign. This is what, 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yep.
1 o'clock in the morning. And so...
And by this point, he was already probably going 60.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but Mark Whaley, to say it was a chase is a misnomer, because it was just, he was going to drive like a wild man, whether anybody was behind him, knowing that he wasn't going to let anybody get close. So he had an extensive lead. Second stop sign here at Ivy. Of course, he blew through this stop sign. Thankfully, I actually think Mark's siren probably helped alert other people, but there was no other third stop sign here. But I think the citizens agree. I think the citizens agree that a little bit of siren helps. So we're still northbound on Flandreau. So we're coming up here on Sherwood, fourth stop sign. And by now, our squad is actually 5 blocks behind,
Right.
watching him from a distance, just because you can't possibly keep up with some of these. Did I say 4th stop sign? Here, 5th stop sign. All 5 stop sign, and we do. I'm gonna say we know who it was now from the investigation, but we have not brought him into custody yet. So still northbound here. This is northbound in Nevada. Now the picture that hopefully I posted, so here he left the roadway. You see that track on the right? He left the roadway, and there was a car parked in that driveway that he struck and spun around 180 degrees. So the car you'll see in that picture, if it's posted, actually ended up getting turned around. It was in the driveway. And then the vehicle ended up right here in between the car and the El Mexicano taco truck. And
sheared off a power pole.
Where those orange cones are, and actually knocked a propane tank off that truck. It was a propane tank right there?
Yep.
Propane tank was on the back of that truck. If it had hit that directly, it would have been a different set of circumstances. So, and then ran the suspect in. Well, obviously our squad wasn't really close.
It's going to be a permit 201.
So he ran
Subject's name is Bernard.
east on Nebraska
He is not violent, no known weapon.
from here, and
Thank you. You're welcome. 2003.
we went back and interviewed people that knew who got in the car, and we determined who it is, and we're actively looking for the suspect. And it was a stolen, turned out to be a stolen. But if you see the El Mexicano grill out there, the yellow truck, give him some extra business, because he did take some damage. Thankfully, he didn't take a direct hit, but took some damage here in the process.
Bravo 252, just confirming.
Hard to believe, but the garbage was all out there too. Remember?
I know.
Took out all the garbage.
And not in a good way.
So our moderator is going to try to post a picture. See if it's possible. I don't know.
So the photo is not up yet. It's not posted yet. We're not sure of how to accomplish that.
Do that while it's live. Yeah, I don't know if that's possible to do while it's live. You can do it after it's over.
If we don't get to do it while it's live, it'll get posted when the video is over.
Yeah, that's probably better.
365, Council 3, heading.
In case it actually conflicts with our live video. So we'll just do it later. But that was a Saturday night after we were live Friday night. Well, I am very pleased to say, so far, 8 o'clock on a Friday night, we haven't had any carjackings tonight, Pat.
5184.
Right?
Yeah.
5184.
That's unusual.
Just an update, we're holding what we have on the interior, waiting for Tony Cannon to arrive. When they do, they can meet us at the front door for entry.
Received.
Got the 2005.
Speaking of old legends on our old police department, I just heard that Kurt Landrasch just moved out of Vadnais Heights after, 80 years
Wow.
in that area there.
Okay.
And we know that whole family, the Landrasch family.
Can you put me back on
So
George?
we Terry, our Kurt, thank you for serving the community, being a part of it. And Kurt Landrasch, it's great to be your friend for over the years. So I'm not sure where you moved to, Kurt, but
You can have them sent somewhere. County Code 4 from the exit 2006.
Terry, thank you for everything you've done for Live on Patrol as well.
But 2365. 2365. Press F at CBS, 2250 Wright Street. Email.
Very quiet on the east side tonight.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, serious reduction in
Southbound on the right in the last 5 minutes.
busyness over here.
Described as a black male.
Actually, a fair amount of activity in the suburbs tonight.
65 copy.
The word gets around, though. I mean, St. Paul had a ton of their investigators out last night. I'm not sure if they're out tonight. I think they are, but if I knew, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I can't wait to get back to summer. Do you know the thing is, Pat?
Clear spots unfounded.
When people are out and about in the summer, we can stop by and visit a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Get a pizza here and there, you can connect with people. It's just when it's 11 below, and for those of you that aren't from Minnesota, it's 11 below right now here. We got a hardy community, but there's just people are not out and about
Okay, 2008.
on a regular basis.
Copy. For Roseville, they'll meet you at the front door.
In case you're wondering, we're just going to check. When we're out here roaming, we're checking addresses of known associates of some of these carjackers. So it might seem like random patrol, and some of it is, but a lot of them, it's no accident. We know that there's addresses where people live. Kind of look for stolens that might be along the side of the road.
And Teresa, on behalf of Bob and Amber and I, thank you for the blankets, the cold weather clothes, and the Twinkies.
Yes. Thank you. I think we got your number. We were going to catch up with you. I think she caught up with Mike Whistler, but we missed her.
2753.
I'm behind David King, Edward 868, headed eastbound Maryland. Stand by for a cross here.
Is it on the sheet?
No.
That's one of our deputies.
Turning north on Amel. Felony warrant.
Copy, showing northbound Able from Maryland.
Definitely we're in the back. north stop at 39E, Maryland.
That'd be 390 Maryland.
Well, one of our deputies has a
Back, Eagle in Maryland.
car stopped with a felony warrant. We're gonna have a look.
Clear.
We are gonna go try to back him up. Got a little ways to go to catch there, but he is. I'm sure others will probably beat us there.
If you could head to Able in Maryland.
Copy, I can start from Earl and physical going on.
Why that's on channel 1. Get that up.
Is that what he's broadcasting on one?
I don't know.
One on the way, 639's on the way there.
Well, I don't think he was on 3 originally.
639 the ways out. Just let him know.
Should just follow it for a while.
I think he stopped it.
County 2607, send it to me. Maryland and 35.
I don't think so.
2607, copy. Cooperative. Copy, so far cooperative.
I think he stopped it
Yeah,
at
he did.
390.
He did.
Copy, K9 warnings given at 2012.
.753, we can slow. I'm looking at the details while I'm watching him, and they got a white male driver warrant, has a listed as a black male.
Okay. So what happens is,
I copy, you have a white male driver in the vehicle, and the warrant listed is going to be a
the
black
registered
male.
owner
and a
or
squad can
a
slow.
warrant alert, if a
2012.
person was in the vehicle before, they will tie the name and the warrant to the car.
2607 amount.
So when you run the
2607, copy,
car,
2012.
you'll get a warrant hit. But that doesn't necessarily mean, is that one of
That's either an Audi or
the...
a Kia.
It looks like an Audi, yeah.
That's
So-
the taillights we were always looking
Yeah,
for.
we're looking for that car for a week. And but in this case, he's quickly determined that
Squad 264.
a detailed look at who the warrant is on does not match the driver of the car.
You need medics reference.
So his probable cause exists to stop the car and determine if the guy with the warrant is in the car.
Give it 23.
But if it doesn't match, then the issue quickly resolves itself. Sometimes the problem is it does match, but you determine later that the person is not the suspect. So there's another squad there, and it sounds like he's not the right suspect.
2753, everybody can cancel.
So he's canceling everybody else.
Copy, code 4639 and 267, you can clear.
So we will head southbound on Forest or
639, copy.
Earl through the east side.
Maybe we'll see how Cheers is doing. The new Cheers.
178.
I used to live right over here. I don't know if you knew that.
At
Well, I'm not going to say where I live because, some people, but I'll just drive by over here just to,
Transporting an adult female
I
to
was-
Holiday Hamlin and Marshall in 2014.
my point is I got a long history with the east side. Love the people over here on the east side. Tremendous respect for that whole Johnson Phelan hockey program as well.
I've kind of been all over St. Paul. I've been pretty much an East Side boy since about '94, with a few detours in
7-1.
between.
I mentioned that,
1981 Highway
well, we talked about before, that for those who weren't listening,
Medics
the movie Grumpy Old Men was filmed right on this street here.
should advise.
Right down on the street. 2 of the houses in the movie, actually 3 of the houses were right in the movie here.
Now, did they use the same houses in the second one?
I don't think so. I mean, it didn't seem like it, no. But,
Bravo 7 and
I mean, grumpier old men then.
Probably like 20.
So right there on the top of that hill there, that was Aunt Margaret's house, I think, right there.
Okay.
Corner of Hyacinth and Frank. House looks great, by the way. Whoever's there got some nice lighting in the porch. And then Jack Lemmon and who was the other guy?
Jack Lemmon and Walter Mattel.
Walter Matthau. They live right across the street over here on Hyacinth, and these houses over here on this side of the street. This was a fun little project when they were filming that show right down here.
There's a report on the PCN. Both sides of the deal.
A lot of movie theaters came to the east side here and did some filming.
59.4.
Remember when Tim Allen was in that Santa Claus movie, remember?
Yep.
That was filmed partially over here too.
3926.
Either Hawthorne or Orange Street. We're on Orange now. Hawthorne or Orange. Right in this area over here.
It's a great neighborhood.
Yep. We're assaulted by a snowball. Which was the movie The Santa Claus? I'm not positive. So I just want to say that we do spend a fair amount of time over on the east side, but it's partially because of our familiarity, but also because we care about this community. And
It's 2017. Squad 181.
so we're at Orange and Forest.
21. I'm going to call medics down in region.
We are gonna, I think Pat and I
Calling
agree,
medics to region.
we need to do a couple daytime ones at some point in the future, huh?
I think so too. I'll do a lot better job of identifying cars in the daytime, especially colors.
Well, there's that.
For those who haven't been with us much, my color vision at night is not the greatest.
By the way, I don't even know if this is true, but
2010 traffic.
one of the officers that interviewed one of the suspects
2010.
Rice in Arlington. 3 Ford Taurus. No plates.
was
Copy, Rice in Arlington.
reported to us that one of the suspects was disrespecting our Durango.
Really?
Yeah.
How dare they?
Yeah, they were disrespecting our Durango. They had seen us out there and they were, disrespecting our Durango.
I think there should be another charge for that.
Durango disrespect.
Copy, deployment stop, Rice in Nebraska. 2607, if you're close by, can you back?
Good, we got 2
7 copies.
2 county cars, 3 county cars out there. Rice in Nebraska.
267, you can send me that as well.
267, copy.
All of us have some extra cars out here tonight to curtail these carjackers, so. Code 4. 2010 is Code 4.
2010 Code 4 at 2020.
Just in Nebraska.
$71.25. Sending you a phone call request reference of Boop.
25 copy.
2021.
Squad's 532, 534.
382, one for both.
Number 8, 4th Street East at the Commerce Building on a DOC. Securities with a male heading to the second floor that was making threats and being aggressive. No description. Security's going to meet you in the lobby. At 2022.
What'd you have for dinner tonight, Pat?
What did I have for dinner tonight? That's it. I had a couple of
178
pieces
arriving.
of chicken from Pizza Man that I had left over from
2022.
last night. So I'll probably be due for a cheese dog before too long.
Well, I would think. They're really not too bad.
Squad's 268, 269.
Hello.
268.
Hmm?
And 269.
So how are you feeling after your second shot?
Did I? You know, I was dehydrated for a few days, but it's kind of passed now too.
Oh, that's good.
Squad 269.
I feel smarter. I think I got
269, go ahead.
some altered DNA making me smarter. What do you think? How's it going? What's up?
269, copy.
Yeah, in the summertime, there's more people out. You can visit with people.
10 4th Street East
Yeah.
for a PIC. Multiple callers reporting a PIC female that's in the laundry room, and multiple callers reporting that she has history of carrying a knife with her. No weapon seen today.
Well, we're only a
Banging
couple.
on apartment doors, accusing residents of kidnapping her child. The black female, 34, thin, 5'9", unknown clothing description.
We're only a couple weeks from March. We always start having some
Yeah.
warm-ups in March.
Yeah. Well, actually, I always, like I said, my birthday has always been the day that you cannot
532, where was that at?
count on rings staying.
That's 10 4th Street East.
So,
Hold that, we'll take care of it. Push you.
Copy.
we're southbound on Payne Avenue at
Squad
Keys.
beacon disregard.
269, copies. Thanks, Chelsea.
268, same
We
truck.
could go to that person in crisis call on East 4th Street, but we're
And
gonna let
532, you
we're gonna
get
let the
cleared
squads
from
handle
number
that.
8, 4th Street, the mill left. I'll attach you guys to the PIC call in 4th.
person
number
in
10,
crisis.
You're welcome, 2025.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Bravo 462.
What's that? What's that?
Lene made chorizo, refried bean, and cheese empanadas for
No
dinner.
answers, that's embarking.
That sounds
With
good,
Bravo 252.
Lene.
Remote 10.
Copy, I'll put you both on off duty. $180.
It's a nice night, even though it's
You need
11
to,
below.
All our cars will be clear. Thanks for coming.
At 2025.
Relatively quiet in the big city.
Yes, indeed.
It's all good. See if we can get through one night without a carjacking, huh?
That'd be nice.
One night without a carjacking. That would be good.
If that doesn't come back to a Jeep,
Yeah?
remember that wave you did?
Yeah.
We need to go back there.
Okay. I used to think they were waving at me, smiling and getting into a stolen.
This was the one that was turning.
Yeah. The big one.
Yep. They were turning right into that one spot. Where
Yeah.
a few were.
Yep. I'll go back. I've seen that roaming around here before, that vehicle.
I actually saw it on the way home from work today.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I think we need to look at it.
We can find it. See, we're not at our best until 9/11. That's the thing.
We're a little rusty till 9/11.
9/11. We do have some conflicts early in the morning, so we can't work as late as we normally do. And that's why we're starting earlier. We are still going to experiment with a cell phone booster. They're a little pricey though. Apparently they do work though.
9173.
We can't hardly just avoid the places that are... Hey Santa, Mrs. Santa are still up there. Alright. So we're looking for the Jeep.
Yep.
As you turn it on
Bravo
Chase, or
89,
as you
have a good
turn it
one.
on that block, that empty block,
That empty block.
that were the dead end there,
Yep.
where they
Yep.
store them. All right. I think it's just on the other side, right? Or is it right in this? I think
It's the other side of Keys.
Yeah, it's where they say no exit.
Yep.
And it comes out by the housing. I was thinking it was turning here, but you're pretty sure it was coming in this other one. Huh?
Yep.
All right. I'll tell you what, Jeeps are a very popular car to carjack. I don't know why that is.
I think it's right there. Oh, okay. I got it wrong.
Well, let's run it anyhow.
Yeah, I got it wrong though.
Nice looking car. This is right where we found a number of stolens, by the way. We're behind 983 Payne. That's why we're here. A lot of these kids, it's very quiet, no traffic. There's not really a road here. A lot of they have dumped a number of their stolens. We're just going to expose them right now and then they can sneak out this other. Why don't you go ahead and run that one? Well, it looks okay.
Hi.
They can sneak out this other little driveway out past 1000 North Edgerton. And just not a lot of traffic. It's very remote. One of our suspects actually was posting videos on Facebook in a stolen car from that back lot. And the squad's found a number of stolens right there, so no real secret there.
Code 4. Mail fire.
Boy, all these different things
Copy, code
people are
4.
saying they had for
No,
dinner
no,
is
she
starting
had
to make me
2030.
hungry.
Well, I suppose we could try to get some quality fast food.
Squad 364 on 365.
Absolutely.
I mean, we could go to Culver's.
364.
Single double Butter Burger Deluxe.
365.
733 3rd Street East, in progress vote. Female whispered the address.
Okay.
Stated that she has an OSP violation and that
I
he's
may
going to
have
kill
gotten
her.
it wrong again. I'm just not sure.
That's all right. We're going to run to
364 now.
We're going to run to the violation of order for protection and help this woman.
6-9 coming.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So when you commit a domestic against your partner, generally you get an order, a DANKO order, or a VOOP. It's called the violation of order of protection, and then you're ordered to stay away. And then if you don't, you go to jail. So this woman is calling, whispering. Anytime they're whispering, it's a fearful matter. Of course, you're familiar that in this area just behind us there, we had a triple homicide that was domestic related as well. You always got to take these types of calls seriously.
Absolutely.
Even if you have to sacrifice your nose. Right?
You got it. And you did.
There's more than 6 people in that residence. You go with them.
What did he just say?
Copy. And for previous history, there is an OSP against his son, Anthony Soto, 1999, 1129. Is showing a felony violating contact order out of Ramsey County.
Okay.
364 copy. Thank you.
Heather Veenstra in our Emmerich, if you can send us that picture of him, send the picture to me, that would be great. Pat can grab it. Look there, partner.
Not yet.
Not so good, huh?
Hold on. Clear. Oh,
We're like a.
it was.
Seriously.
Jesus.
That car's probably stolen. Let's take her out. Here's somebody else coming. Is that one of ours there? Nope.
5514.
Are they coming across the 3rd Street Bridge?
I don't think so.
5514.
How's it look?
Ease out. You're good.
Squads will be
Clear.
clear of the address in St. Paul. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we hear the lights and siren of
2034.
St. Paul car en route there. We're looking for
Clear
733, correct?
advice.
I missed the call altogether.
733 East 3rd Street. I'm not sure the numbers here right now, which is unusual for us. That's 615. True squad's gonna blow by us. And they're coming from behind us.
It should be coming up pretty quick here. That was
I'm gonna
710.
turn around anyhow because I'm gonna park on the other side. 717. I think they said right that there's more people. Alright, yeah, there he is. We've been there once before.
Wondering if that little guy walking was our guy.
Where was he?
Right by the market.
I was looking at houses.
He was right by the market.
Helicopters up. They're here. We're gonna find out if the squads are got them or not.
171.
If,
171.
if he left, we're going to quickly go down and...
You can clear that alarm out. Copy, thank you. 2035. Bravo 400.
Bravo 400.
Can you check the 5 board and see if there's a call at my location?
$2036.
2 officers here. Got the victim outside. They're talking to her.
Affirmative. We're going to call that the fire alarms are sounding throughout the whole building. First caller said no signs of smoke or fire.
Can you check and see if they need any police assistance?
Hey. Thank you.
Copy,
Well, gotta wait till this call's over, okay?
364, we got multiple people in the hot seat. Just keep those spots coming. We're controlled for now.
All right, we're going in, Pat.
Yep.
Copy. Keep spots coming. Code 4 for now. Last update is that male is in the basement.
All right.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. You can listen to the radio.
Six on the block out.
Copy at 2037. $174.
Only for 100, I'm out with them. Third.
Copy at 2037.
In Vandalia. It's going to be plate 587 Romeo Mike Yankee.
177, copy.
Thank you, 2038.
364, just for an update to the call. The suspect is with a female in the basement. Sounds like he's high on something, hasn't been asleep for a few days. Somebody can bring a pepper ball up. We're trying to call down and get him to come up back and answer at this point.
Stand by. I'm trying to confirm now at this time.
So now I know that a pepper ball from the call from the car. 308 is authorized.
Squad 308. Is there a sergeant monitoring to approve pepper ball?
$910, pepper ball's approved.
Copy, thank you. Pepper ball is approved on 3rd at 2039.
$177 and 174. It's unknown which direction the vehicle went on Cretan from 94. For the comp, the subjects in the vehicle switched drivers. The original driver is now the passenger. Unknown if the new driver is intoxicated. An update, vehicles last seen northbound on Cretan.
177, copy. Can you have our comp stop following? Let's check the area.
Copy.
7-4, just keep them following if you can, and then I'll take care of the call. I'm on Cretan.
Copy. It looks like comp is no longer following at this point.
Copy, yeah, hold on. You can cancel 177. I'll check the area.
Copy. 177, you're clear.
177, copy.
$376, put me on 3rd.
Copy at 2040.
You can clear us advised, marks to 107.
Copy 2040.
Bravo 789.
Bravo 789.
Can you put me on a suspect hub? I'm code 4, and can I get my CN time over there?
Bravo 789. Copy. Time of the call is 2041. CN is 030130. Go 400.
Go ahead.
Player's not requesting police at this time.
Thank you.
You're welcome, 2041.
364.
364.
Made several announcements in downstairs. The female initially responded to another female in the house. Now we're not getting a response from anybody. No signs of a struggle or anything in the basement. No indication she's being held against her will at this point. We're just trying to get a team formed up here. We've got less lethal options and lethal inside the house. But if we can just have a couple more meander this way.
Copy. Made several announcements to the basement with no answer. No signs of struggle or being held against her will. Still requesting additional squads respond at 2042.
.364 female now came upstairs, so we're just down to the suspects in the basement, totally alone.
Copy. Females now upstairs at 2042.
What's that suspect wanted for?
Call is in for violating protection order. He does have a couple warrants out of Ramsey County for the same.
Copy.
2042.
308.
Go again.
Yeah, third.
Copy at 2043.
(2166) 2362 Tango.
2166. 2362 Tango.
For DOC and Health Partners, 3930 Northwoods, room 1683. There's a hostile patient yelling at staff. 37-year-old male name of Mark. He's wearing a yellow t-shirt and chains. Nothing physical at the moment. Boyer Avenue at 2044.
.2164, can you take me off the board? I'm having computer issues.
Copy. In 2166, male has also calling in stating he's upset with care that the son received a week ago. He's stating he just wants it documented.
66 copies.
2045.
Fourteen 10 on Jack.
5184, 5182.
174.
174.
What was that plate on the DK driver from earlier?
At the 1045 Lavender apartment 224, came in as an abandoned call from a landline, no answer and call back. You're welcome, 2046.
Clear advisement 270, notes from the cat.
264, I copy at 2046.
.364 parties detained. You can release the 10-3 if you had one. Or code 4.
Copy, party is detained. Air is clear, 24-6.
911 hang up. Name comes up as a Joseph Hale or a Lisa Hale.
Good copy. If you want to have a line of stage in the area so we can get there.
Received 7121, 7107.
2-1.
07.
911 hang up at 2124 Dickens Lane, came in from a landline. There was a busy tone on 2 callbacks. There is also a history of domestic back in December. And that call, the suspect's name was Brandon Clipper, who was known to fight and flee.
2-1 copy.
2048.
5510.
5510.
Can you add myself and 14 to that 911 hang up?
Copy 2048.
Five
534.
He made contact with Brittany at the JDC, reference a juvenile they have in custody. His parents are refusing to come pick him up.
Received.
2049.
66, go ahead.
The male's going to be in room 157 alone, yelling threats.
Copy.
2049.
Okay, all right. Everything went peaceably there. Don't actually remember where my glasses ended up, but somewhere. So I'll get a little summary there, Pat.
Well, had a young man who'd supposedly been on a drug binge for several days, was hallucinating, was very paranoid, was in the basement of the house,
2050.
and took a while to talk him out. And
Some of the family members were fearful of him, right?
yeah, a couple of family members were very afraid of him. And they successfully talked him out, and without any incident at all, were able to bring him out. And some people are probably wondering why so many officers. Well, there was an update to the call that there were 6 people in addition to the young man in the house. And
460, we're attempting to get
people were worried there might be some resistance to taking him. There's always difference of opinions amongst family members as to who should go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wowie, wowie.
And 270 vehicle was also going to sell not on
364 for case number, please.
Case number is 030124. 030124.
Thank you.
You're welcome, 2052.
And that went very peacefully, but let's just assume that perhaps it had not gone peacefully. Perhaps he had tried to fight the officers.
Or had any weapons. 1 or 2 officers have to use more force than 3 or 4 or 5 officers would have to use to get a person in custody without hurting them. Well, and there's small spaces in some of these houses,
Very
especially
much
in the basement, and then you complicate it with 6 other people in the house besides him, so it gets complicated.
2052.
So
It worked out very well. Best possible outcome imaginable.
So we're looking for a Lexus. We wanted to mention that. So
we just had a black Lexus LS 460 stolen off of Cesar Chavez and Robert. Last seen southbound on Robert Street. That just occurred. We don't have a plate on it yet.
Or any details, but we think it was stolen without force at this point, but we really don't know.
Very few details right now. I think the 460 is a car, but I'm going to look it up here real quick.
You're fine. Those spots are still working on the Robert Street call.
Yeah, it's a sedan.
Negative, data report. 63725.
This is the medics at 3884 Elmwood for a 58-year-old male that fell.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Hopefully we can be in the proximity, but can you clear us from that one? All right. Is there anything else you needed?
306.
Can you send me in 379 a pending?
So, a couple of homeless guys.
Maryland Avenue East, the Speedway on a civil. Cop is threatening to assault the cashier for not giving the money back.
Where's that at?
306 copy.
Speedway?
379 copy.
The 264.
So as it gets busier and busier, Pat and I turn more radios on so we can monitor 2 or 3 frequencies at one time.
Okay, we need to turn around on that.
Was that a Lexus?
No, that was a Equinox, and at least 2 of the numbers matched.
One right down there?
I think.
On the left?
I'm not sure if it's the one on the left.
We're looking for Nud?
Yep.
Copy. 2055.
Nud.
Okay, that's not it.
Okay.
But that was 580. We were looking for 980.
Okay, very good, very good. 980 Nud. It's like Tom Brady said with Gronk. 2 tutties. 2 tutties, Gronk.
Reason was for no plates. It's doing 90. It's pulling away from me. Still westbound, passing away fair.
Westbound on.
Westbound on what?
Copy. Any county cars close, or 6?
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Ramsey East.
26, he's doing 125. No traffic. I'm doing 88. He's up to English. Go East Coast, I'm just going to terminate.
Must be 36. What we got going here? But something dropped.
Go ahead.
Is your phone?
Yeah, we're fine.
Description and last location. Gotta get our wires crossed.
So again?
What? That was my error. Description and last location.
Westbound 36 approaching 61. Yellow stripes, and I think it's still west 36 from 61. Copy. Dark blue Charger with yellow stripes.
Dark blue Charger with yellow stripes. Well, we had a white Charger with black stripes. Huh?
I think it's still westbound, but it's a ways in front of me. I'm just going to terminate it. 607. We have squads that are working a detail tonight. Can we see if State can get it on the cameras? 26. It's still west from Edgerton. I just saw it.
Maybe he'll go south on 35.
2360.
Can we take
this to an LPIC? Copy. We'll be back with LPIC. Bravo 816 UT.
He tries to make that corner, he might not make it.
Copyright 2057.
So, we got a stolen car westbound on 36.
with LTAC 1 for vehicle pursuit westbound Highway 36.
Information for squads for
We're gonna wait.
Following a dark blue Charger, no place. Original stop was 4, no place. Vehicles traveling approximately 120 miles an hour. 21.5. I'm behind it, coming up for Wright Street, hitting traffic. Copy, approaching right.
Well, it did not come south on 35.
No, it did not.
So,
Clarify, it did not hit traffic, it seems close by traffic.
it's a great
Clear
advantage of having so many cars out on the street.
Yep. Under Wright Street.
You got LTAC on, or?
Yep.
Copy, under right. 2607, can we see if State's monitoring with cameras?
Clear right.
And flights. Copy, we're advising right now. 267.
Okay. Well, we are going to run down to 280 because he's either going to go
Information for squad.
north on 30, north south on 35W or south on 280. So
The State flight is up.
I think they're working on
21
Still westbound 36 passing him.
You're out there, boys. We are overhead monitoring. We are recording.
Copy, 2 grade overhead.
Yeah. Are you putting that on LTAC?
You go ahead. I'm going to let you handle it, wherever you think. I was going to, but should I? If I'm,
Yeah, you should probably.
Your break and you call it.
I think it's on East End LTAC. So
Your break call it.
what I'm going to do
Pass the exit to Hamlin.
is put it on 3, and you got that on 1 for.
Passing Hamlin.
I'll tell you what. Let's put this on so our people listening can probably hear better.
Okay.
Left lane, going under stop, projecting me pretty.
2165. Sort of back out.
What is it?
Copy, 65 back out.
So our squad's going to let the helicopter do most of the work, which is smart.
534.
Because the helicopter won't know that.
Show me out at the GDC.
Can we get that on just?
Copy to a ladder.
I did. There we go. Try it again.
2607, attach me to the call. Copy.
So it's
Continuing with traffic.
4 or 5 miles north of us. We're paralleling it. We're on 94 westbound at Hamlin. It's up there at 36 in Hamlin. So it's going to either come south on 35 35W or south on 280 most likely. Could try to go north on 35W, but that's a tough curve.
Continuing southbound 35W.
Southbound 35W.
Yep, southbound 35W.
That's a tough curve. We're going to have to let Minneapolis know. We are in an unmarked car, so we can actually sneak up on them a little easier.
Yeah. And we don't stop pursuing at the county line or the city line or even the state line. Once you're in pursuit, you can pursue as long as it can be done safely till it's concluded.
Continuing southbound, passing industrial.
Aha.
Okay, hold the wheel for a minute. Just check something out here. Thank you.
It's fantastic that Trooper 8 is up. They do a phenomenal job.
We can't do it without them. We got a
Continuing, passing Stinson. That slow down is in the right lane.
female pilot.
Vehicle's in the right lane, passing Stinson.
Shout out to Trooper 8. Probably gonna run into that Lexus fleeing on this. There was a Lexus stolen on the west side that was fleeing northbound on Robert Street. So we're gonna merge with this vehicle right about at the junction, unless it goes to North Minneapolis, which a lot of them do. End up in North Minneapolis. Well, we know the five.
Still southbound, just past Johnson, right lane.
We know the 5 people that it's not. And here's the beauty of this intersection: you're not allowed to go eastbound on 94 from southbound 35W without getting off on Hiawatha and making a roundabout. So,
Alec, you still with it? .65, are you still with the vehicle?
these helicopters have this new software that overlays the names of the streets. So the chase started in North St. Paul, proceeded through several different jurisdictions, some of which controlled by the sheriff's office.
Exiting University.
Exiting
Copy,
University.
exiting Uni.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Continuing southbound past 4th, approaching University.
Probably get back on.
Copy, checking if any county cars are still following.
Going, we're going to be westbound University.
Westbound University.
Going the wrong way, westbound Uni.
Avenue from University.
What happened?
So we turn westbound on 2nd Street Southeast from 8th. Westbound 2nd Street Southeast.
Westbound on 2nd Street Southeast.
Westbound 2nd Southeast from 8.
Hopefully Minneapolis
What
knows.
I'm going to ask is Minneapolis in the loop?
Turning southbound on 6th Avenue Southeast.
We'll advise Minneapolis. I don't believe we have anyone behind this car. But Minneapolis by chance? We'll notify them now.
Street.
Even if we're not behind it, we're going to continue until it stops and make the arrest from a distance. Did that make sense?
Yep. Clear right.
Minneapolis has been advised.
Okay.
Trooper 8, you still got it?
Still have it. Continuing westbound from 3rd.
Continuing westbound from there.
Approaching Central Avenue. Westbound Main Street from heading towards Central Avenue.
There's a lot of 3rd streets around here. There's South 3rds, there's North 3rds.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go down here to cross over Central. He's probably gonna. I don't know if he'll come into the city or not. He's on the, just on the other side
Clear
of the
right.
road.
At the intersection for Miriam Street, Main Street, Southeast Miriam Street. Continuing westbound Main Street.
Okay.
Clear right.
You good?
Continuing westbound Main from Marion.
So.
Stopped at the light for Main Street, Hennepin.
Main and Hennepin.
Vehicle stopped at the light, 8th Street for Hennepin.
Coming up on that, we're gonna fake him out a little bit because he won't know it's us. And then you're gonna jump out and grab the keys. We got stop sticks. We'll just jump out quietly and throw the stop sticks under their wheels. Well, all right. So if we get up to Hennepin here, we take a right. We go to Hennepin and Main. We'll be right there with them. We're in Minneapolis now, by the way, on Washington Avenue at 3rd Avenue South.
Still stopped at the light, Main Street, Hennepin.
Still stopped at the light, Main and Hennepin.
Stand by.
Vehicle still stopped.
Clear right.
That's the advantage of being old. Kind of.
And continuing westbound Main Street from Hennepin, approaching 1st Avenue.
Copy approaching 1st.
Huh. Yeah, but he can still turn on 1st.
Yep.
There's Hennepin. If we take a right, we would hit him, but we're going to see what happens here.
Because he's approaching 1st.
Yeah. We should get some sticks out, maybe. I'm just going to at least get him ready.
Southbound 1st from Main Street, crossing the river.
I don't know if we're fast enough.
He's coming right at us.
I know. Do you think I'm fast enough to get the sticks out, though? All right. You should tell him we're going to try to get the sticks
Okay, we're going to try and get the sticks out here.
No, I mean the...
2400, we're going to try and do the sticks at 1st and
Copy. 6 at 1st in Washington.
Going to be in the right lane, just getting across the river.
just crossing the river.
Copy. Vehicle in right lane. 07, I'm just a couple blocks behind this. Minneapolis monitoring. Affirm, they've been advised. Minneapolis 212, we're at 1st and 2nd, just on the north side of the river.
Southbound, we're going to be on Hennepin Avenue, southbound from 1st Street.
Other street or what?
Are they in front of a bus?
Yes, in front of a bus.
Said he was in front of a bus.
Approaching Washington. Continuing southbound from Washington on Hennepin Avenue.
Southbound? On Hennepin or 1st?
She said Hennepin.
We're on Hennepin.
On Hennepin.
They're in the right lane, 2400.
We gotta get turned around here.
So we're on Hennepin now?
They're on Hennepin now.
Continuing southbound from 3rd.
Southbound from 3rd on Hennepin.
Okay, well, that's us.
I'm gonna light
Passing
it.
4th, continuing southbound.
I'm gonna light it up.
No. Well, that's okay.
He can't see it.
Okay. Yeah, we had sticks at 1st Street, but somehow he got over to Hennepin. Where are we going now?
1 block.
Southbound from 5th on Hennepin.
About 4 blocks ahead of us.
Well, sheriff car there. Get some sticks going. Well, there's the bus. Too bad we were 1 block over, man. We had sticks galore.
Jeez.
1st at the light in the right lane at 7th.
Let's look.
Clear.
Minneapolis 212, what are you guys needing from us? Do you have a park squad behind that car for the stop, or do you just need backup?
Hold on. Clear.
I think we'd like to stick the car if possible. We're already chased it once. We can try again, but we're trying to get in front and get some sticks on there first.
Copy that. We're at Independent 4th right now. We won't be able to chase, but we can try to assist with the perimeter if need be.
Yeah, if he bails, that'd be great if you could help us. Trooper still southbound?
Going eastbound on Gate 3. Eastbound on 83 ahead of us.
Copy, eastbound 8 from Independent. Remember, driver's a light-skinned male with a baseball hat, a beard, wearing a t-shirt.
South on LaSalle. We're having trouble. We're losing up for the building.
South on LaSalle.
Is the car stolen or just no plate? Do we have registration?
This is LaSalle. There he is. Okay, back towards Hennepin.
We got eyes on it and unmarked. Westbound on South 9th Street.
Copy, westbound South 9th.
And he's pulled over on the side. Let's all pretend, just keep the distance, mark squads. He's starting to park, and we're gonna park as well. And I'm gonna see if I can get these stop sticks on him before he pulls out. Just on 9th, just west of LaSalle. Okay.
Vehicle parking on 9th.
You ready? Hang on a minute.
Runner, we're in front of you.
Hang on. Hang on.
You gonna do it out the window?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay, hang on. We're gonna try and toss these out the window when we get next to it.
In between the wheels.
We're gonna try and get it between the wheels. We'll let you know when the sticks are out. Got your window down?
I'm gonna open the door. You ready?
Yep.
I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Whew, whew. Ready?
Yep.
Hi! Alright, tell the squad to move in.
Move in, squads. Move in, squads.
How's it going?
9th, just west of LaSalle. Move in.
How's it going? Hang on. Hang on. How's it going?
It's alright.
Well,
Down on the ground.
get on the ground.
Down on the ground. Okay. Get your hand up. Get your hand up.
We can give an address or an intersection.
Should be 9th Street, just west of LaSalle.
Alright, we're actually gonna go in front of the Minneapolis squad car right over.
Minneapolis 105. I'm on that call.
Lean up
They're
against
just
the car, man.
apprehending 2 people on the car. We'll be close later soon. Copy, dig into it.
We'll be fine.
Oh, fuck.
You'll be fine.
Help me, please. Please, sir.
Yeah, it hurts, I know.
Fuck, I don't have nothing, sir.
Just bend over.
Oh. If you hadn't run from the police at 125 miles an hour, you wouldn't be in this situation.
Well, we know why he ran.
Oh, oh, shit. Oh, oh, my eyes. Oh, shit. I don't have nothing. Oh, shit. Please, sir. Oh, oh, oh,
Oh, shit. Now remember that next time you run. Oh, shit. Oh, I remember that. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh.
46 is the work code forward is in custody.
Oh.
Got it, code 42 in custody.
Where were you running? Where were you running?
Oh, shit. I hope it wasn't for this small bag of weed. Oh, shit. I just had some fun. This way. You feel this bad boy? Oh, no, sir. It's in my name. My registration. I appreciate it. You got me back where I need to be. I can't see shit to search.
Oh, put your line in.
2607, still wanting to dispatch it with the LTAC.
Okay. I can.
Yeah, can you take the passenger?
Hey,
Here a little bit.
Yep, sure can.
Thank you. Medics or anything? No.
Copy. Code 4 clear in the air. Ramsey County clear in the passive LTAC 1. Thank you to state and Minneapolis Spirit.
Why was he running? Huh? What was he thinking? They might check with survive about towing you.
Stand by. Block for that. Get your number and go ahead.
I can't even see enough. Hey. Hey Mike, there's a phone on the floor here. So it's probably the woman's phone if you want to.
Yeah, I started.
I don't know who all saw him driving through it, but obviously we didn't see the police. All right. So, thankfully, we Got 3 county cars here. They're going to tie this up. Hopefully the North St. Paul car will write a report, but
Trooper 8 took us right to him.
yeah, the car's not even stolen. I don't know why. I mean, he's got no plates, obviously. He said he has no license, and he was running because he doesn't have a license. But there are people thinking about running just because you don't have a license. 125 miles an hour?
Unbelievable.
Oh my goodness.
That is
125.
for no license.
Personally, I would have liked to see the stop sticks work.
That was masterful, by the way.
Threw it right between the front and the back tire, either way. That's the first time I've deployed him from the driver's seat.
Well, you did it masterfully. You need to give a class in it. While he was waving.
I didn't mind the idea of blocking the car in and letting him ram the way out, but this felt safer. And you did a masterful job of confronting him as he left the car. I just want you to tell you.
Thank
you haven't lost your instinct. I was in a little different situation with the proximity of the car and her in the car, but I didn't even have to say get him, Pat. I mean, you hopped out of that car like a 25-year-old guy.
I'll probably pay for it in the morning.
No, it was like 25-year-old guy. Oh, my body camera's still going. He made several furtive movements there and refused to put his hands where they were clearly visible. And of course, anybody that's fleeing the police like that in a vehicle has motivations and reasons to continue to flee. But it just goes to show you how teamwork can succeed. I mean, you got the North St. Paul guy chasing him at 125, pulling away, and then some other squads pick him up or see him. Trooper 8 sees him and then follows him into downtown Minneapolis. He turns and he parks, figures he's home free. And you bring in a couple unmarked cars, right?
Yep. That worked out great.
How do you think the smiley wave was working there? He didn't know what to think, did he? What is that guy looking at me for? It's time for a Winston, Pat.
Yeah, it is.
Did I say that? And a cheese dog.
And a cheese dog.
So now our cars have to tie up the loose ends because there's likely some reports from the North St. Paul squad. Keep in mind, I mean,
639 GOA 10.
the trooper will. Was that Trooper 8?
Yes. And
Trooper 8, if you're on LTEC 1, thank you so much once again for your help.
Trooper, thanks for the call.
And Minneapolis was like, when we said move in, they were like right there. That was perfect.
Yeah. Thanks also to Minneapolis PD. Thanks so much. What is it, 9:25? That's our normal start time now. A little bit after it. So we're about to leave Minneapolis, and for those of you that are from familiar with it. We're right alongside the U.S. Bank Stadium, where the Minnesota Vikings play. Right there. U.S. Bank Stadium, a gorgeous facility. Home of the, what Super Bowl was it, 52 maybe?
I can't even keep track anymore.
The Minnesota Vikings were almost the first team to play in their home stadium for the Super Bowl. And as we know, that honor went to Tampa Bay. Tom Brady. Now, that chase there would not have been brought to a successful conclusion without the Ramsey County Sheriff Deputy Mike Servatka, Whistler, and Mike Marson being willing to continue there and help us track it down. So that's one advantage of a regional law enforcement agency. You know, suspects soon learn they can't continue to just flee. Out of a jurisdiction. So great job by the sheriff's deputies, North St. Paul, Matt Marson. Did I say Mike? Mike Servatka, Matt Marson, and Mike Whistler. 2 Mikes and a Matt. The M&M boys. The 3M boys. It's great to have Minneapolis so willing to help. Just like the other, while we were out in Minneapolis arresting one of those carjackers the other day. Boy, they sure jumped in, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
To help out.
They were on it.
We had 15 Minneapolis cops surrounding a house. And actually they went into the house and had to get the young man out of the attic. So they're always there to help. Well, I think at 10 o'clock or right before then we should restart. And we should grab a cheese dog while we restart.
I think that's a good idea.
Because we started at 6, so we got to restart at 10 anyhow.
Bravo 400.
I suppose we could. Radio's on. I don't know if that's an approved tactic, throwing them out the driver's door.
Well, I think any tactic that works and doesn't harm anyone.
It was
is
a comforting
good
feeling
tactic.
knowing it was right. If he went backwards or forwards, he was going to hit him.
Yep.
Right. The only problem is you
2128.
got to make sure that string isn't still in the car. Which it wasn't, but you know, I was making sure where that string was. I threw the whole handle out with it. So.
Copy code for 2129.
Oh, it'd have been nice to have him at Hennepin when he's coming there. Some streets there's a center divider so you can put the sticks out in the middle and then pull them back across. But there was no center divider, and I was sure if I threw them out there, some cabbie was going to run across them. And that wasn't going to be pretty.
Right.
5514. Affirmative.
We're on our way back into Ramsey County. We're about to cross in. Right here.
2129.
Motor vehicle theft. Want to read that one off there?
Yeah. The CVS at 2196 White Bear, I think that's White Bear and Cope, or B.
2165.
2012 Volkswagen Jetta was left running and got taken. We don't have a plate or color yet.
This is going to back on a suspicious at 2485 Canterbury Drive in the parking lot.
Mike
There's an
Mike
ongoing
Yankee,
issue with some
960,
RV.
white in color.
States that vehicles come and go. It's going to be in the back lot.
Bravo 318, I'll be in 3 Milan. 21.
31.
Well, my hat is off to you. That was very slick how you handled
That was probably too dangerous. We had the element of surprise, though.
4478.
Now, we wouldn't have done it that way had it been, just so you know, it had it been, like an armed carjack or something. That is not the approach we'd have used, but...
Vehicle's going to be a 2012 Volkswagen Jetta, white in color, Minnesota plate, Mike Yellow 960, taken out within the last 5 minutes.
But we had the element of surprise.
Yes,
They didn't
we
have,
did.
these windows are very dark. They didn't have the foggiest idea why we were there. Because they thought they had lost the police miles and miles before then. They had no idea the helicopter was up. No idea the helicopter was up. And that's the element of surprise. He's pulling over, parking. He thinks, we lost them miles ago when we got off the freeway on 4th Street because no one was behind him.
Right.
So you can't say enough positive stuff about having a trooper.
281, 216.
And he had, what, a giant wad of cash on him?
A giant wad of cash.
Wad of
and a
cash.
pretty good size
Bag of marijuana.
bag of marijuana, yeah.
Giant wad of cash. Yeah, the car smelled strongly of marijuana as well.
Caller advising there are 2 male parties at the door demanding that an unknown male come out
I'll
of the
bet you
apartment.
he's got some serious,
2 black males, both of their 20s,
driving
both
history.
build, one wearing a black jacket,
Oh, I'll
one
bet.
wearing a white and black jacket.
So,
2132.
that's way too fast. 120, 125 miles an hour. It's way too fast. Way too fast.
Yeah.
We don't even drive over 120.
No, we don't.
Tells you how fast how dangerous that is. Anything over 110 changes the calculation of your mind so quickly.
2166. I'm gonna hit and run 1089 West Cliff Curve for a DoorDash driver that backed into the garage and left.
Probably
66 copy.
tomorrow. Well, you got the whole weekend. Anytime you might have to
2133.
write a little short report.
Yeah. Yeah.
In your spare time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I know you got a busy day tomorrow, but it is Friday, so it'll wait.
Yeah, I'll make a point of getting in.
So you're getting in tomorrow, but whatever. Just send it in. Do a PDF. Get it in. You don't have to put it in the thing. All right, we're back in God's country. Well, the only reason we say God's country is keep in mind, St. Paul is mentioned in the Bible, and Minneapolis is not.
And there you have it.
was last seen coming south on the way through. Can you just advise St. Paul?
Yeah, people let them know.
And the Jetta was advised traveling southbound on White Bear.
Yes.
Well,
4454.
Trooper 8.
4454. Yeah, he's a more vehicle theft. I'll check the area.
So far, still, we haven't had a carjacking. This one qualifies as our first legit auto theft tonight.
684.
Keep in mind, we have an average of 8
I'll be EOT. Have a good night.
8 auto thefts a day in St. Paul.
You as well, 2135.
So we're still ahead of the curve. I think what we got to do, Pat, I think we got to go to White Bear and Old Hudson. And I'll watch for the Jetta while you grab
2161 transport.
cheese dogs
2161.
and a Mountain Dew.
Rental female.
Oh, I've got
From
one for
Buckner
you.
Report. Currently see booking. Starting mileage 805. 2135.
And I had it in my garage all day for you. So it's nice and cold. This year, I'll dump this at the supermarket.
Yeah, I'll drink the rest of it.
Vehicles last name southbound.
161, copy, took the welfare check. Area check around 1276.
Volkswagen Jetta, white color, Minnesota plate, Mike, Yankee 960. Information at 2136.
You probably won't come this far south, but it can't hurt to box it.
Nope. I'm going to go to 3 on this, okay? St. Paul 3?
You got it. You go ahead.
Okay, that's on St. Paul 3. I'll put this on. I don't know. Should I leave this on LTAC or put it on 1?
I don't know. I can put this one on 2.
Okay,
We got the scan on the other one.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, our good friend Dave Colonel did some research on scanners for those of you that are interested. Oh. Yep. Can you send us the partial plate? Black Toyota Sienna just taken from 1100 Cook.
Okay.
Marshall plate. We're going to get the information soon.
Black Sienna.
I'm still going to go to White Bear here. Just look for both of them.
There you go. I didn't get that.
It's not on the other thread, though. All right, so we're looking for a white Jetta, plate MMY. I guess it is. This ain't showing up.
Squad 180.
All right, so
180.
For a welfare check for a female standing on the island on Snelling over 94. Female seemed inadequately dressed for the weather.
397 XCG on the Black Sienna.
Thank you, 2139.
They like those Siennas, don't they?
Yep. Like Jettas, too.
275 Barclay Street on a loop. Both parties still on scene. Started out as an assist to get the custody exchange.
MMY and 397, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
2139.
Your case number is 6002. 6002. You're welcome at 2140.
I don't actually know what a Jetta looks like.
There's a white something in the Speedway. It would be very nice of them to have come here. That's an Impala, I think.
Okay. Well, we just sit here for a little bit.
Why not?
On the left turn lane.
Perfect.
EZE 228 DDA. I can't see around this car, can you?
No. Well, if you want to park facing out,
Squad
I'll just run in
178
real
and
quick.
182.
I'm going to park over here and take your radio with you.
Yep.
I will wait for you.
182.
For domestic Barry, place 808 Barry, unit 432.
You good?
For caller's boyfriend who was earlier trying to kick in the door. His name is Gregory.
Oh, okay, that's that
I'm
one.
not currently kicking it in at this time. Caller's not
Unknown
here.
direction of travel. 2141.
You got to have nourishment.
22, copy.
379.
2141.
You keep 316 on this call. I can take that motor vehicle.
Okay, 2141.
So we got 2 stolens. We're just kind of, there's only so many ways you can get across 94. And we're just going to watch one
Also
of
that the vehicle does
one of the
not have the
three.
keys inside of it, but that the key fob will possibly turn off when the suspect is far enough away. It sounds like the vehicle was running.
Just checking plates here as they go by. Toyota Sienna. I don't know if they turn off when the key fob's not in there. Some do. I don't think they all do.
478
Mine doesn't, I know. I can drive for a while.
54. Just in full.
All right.
I'm saying that the vehicle is about 50 empty. Probably going to be a good idea to check the gas station.
That's good to know.
54 copy. I checked that, say I didn't see it. I'll circle back.
I shouldn't say when I'm driving. I mean when my wife leaves without the key fob. Yeah. That's what I meant. Love you, Chris. I don't actually have a startup key fob on my car. Well, I guess I do have a key fob, but not a startup one.
Four 478. 4478. Pretty sure right for adult female. 1866 for this.
Sorry, you cut out. I got 1866. What street?
Furnace.
Proceed.
Well, that CVS should have pretty good video of whoever took that one, because they got video outside their stores. That should be an easy one to identify. The other issue is making sure that people are prosecuted, held accountable for these offenses, because some people assume, well, they're not going to do anything. Having a legitimate felony on your record is a deterrent for people. You know, people do not want to have a felony on their record.
You're out of everything.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine the anticipation I was had in my mind? Alright, what's that one there?
That's a
They're still looking
Grab
for
four.
they're still looking for the gun too. Right?
Yep.
How was look right? Clear?
Clear.
4492 Tango.
Can you send me my phone?
Copy.
Two 67.
Could you give her a call back and let them know that we are the ones bringing the visual over here?
Copy something.
They said the one on the CVX didn't have hardly any gas in it.
Ah.
So, the favorite gas station of Eastside Auto Thieves is White Bear in Maryland.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know if So about 10 o'clock, we are going to have to restart.
267.
267.
Caller's requesting that you attempt to buzzer again.
Copy, will do.
Which is early by normal live on patrol standards.
651 515 3734. 2146.
So anything's possible.
I suppose.
Right? 2607.
Whiskey plate there.
2607.
En route to LAC.
30 and 30. Clear this out, GOA. 2147. 972, Ramsey County Jail.
There we go.
2147.
Right. ND 816.
2147.
I'm a big fan of the element of surprise in just about everything we do. Just rather than having the bad guy have the first option of knowing what's going on, you know.
Absolutely.
It's the only thing I worry about sometimes. I know they can get their scanners. Oh, by the way, I was going to say, for those of you that want a scanner, Dave Colonel said he did some research, our friend Dave Colonel, and apparently Best Buy sells a Uniden scanner that has evolved to the point that you plug your zip code in.
534.
The scanner knows all the frequencies in that area.
Oh, really?
Isn't that nice? Instead of having to go through a book and program which ones are in and which ones are out.
4493 Tango.
Right?
Yep.
Do you have the phone number for the grandmother that was supposed to see you to 10?
Verifying you're clear.
Yeah, bye.
Copy, 21 for you.
Hello, officers. We are live, but thank you for your service. Everything going okay?
Hey, guys.
Yeah. A
There's a
Volkswagen
couple
that needs
different
gas,
ones, but
right?
I'll give you the landline.
Exactly.
It's 651 773 8667. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. 2149.
4493 Tango. Can we have those other numbers?
Other one looks like it's a cell phone. 651 357 8569.
2149.
Sticks are on the back seat, right?
Yeah. In case we need them. They make smaller versions.
2365, clear.
Easier to throw out
Copy,
the
clear,
window.
2150.
Like 2 feet long, where you can plot. You put them in front of the tires when you're on a traffic stop.
Oh, nice.
So then you just walk up to the car and quietly drop it, kick it. The guy doesn't even know you put it there. I like it.
Yeah. Preemptive.
In case he flees while you're standing there.
One 161 copy. You took the suspicious at 956 St. Paul Avenue at 2150.
What we got there? 815 090.
Squad 165.
That's not a Sienna, is it? Nah.
Squad 165.
Something going on there, huh? What do they got there?
Oh, that's that. I can't think of the name of it. There's
Squad
a
165.
bar that opened up in there last year.
Oh, good. What's the name of it, you know?
I can't remember.
Is there a squad to check on 165's location? Not answering the air. I'm showing at 1995 Eigelhart Avenue on a PCN.
Cup and Chair or something like that, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
161, we can break and start that way.
All right, well, we are going
Thank you,
to take a
2161.
short break. I hope you'll join us. It's still early, and
2166, clear report.
we got to restart here in the next
2152.
10 minutes anyhow, so we're going to do that so we don't have to chew.
180.
We don't have to chew while you're listening to us.
GOA, we're quite a bit closer to 165. 161 can cancel. We'll check on them. 165 respond.
180 copy. 165 just checking your still code 4 and your current.
Shots fired
Over.
on Rainy.
Copy 180 and 161 can disregard.
I got to turn this over here.
Copy.
All right, we're going to shut down. We'll be right back with you here,
2152.
folks.